It's bloody 2022, mate. Happy New Year to you. 2021, what a journey. 2020, what a journey. But now, 2022. Who knows what it holds? Hopefully good things, eh? I'm positive about it. I wish everyone that's watching this all the good things that can happen to you in this new year. Hopefully fun, adventurous, full of love, new experiences, good new memories to be made. Anyway, had a bit of a hiatus on the podcast. I got COVID, surprise to no one, because apparently everyone got COVID over December. And it was actually, not gonna lie, it was pretty blessed because I had my housemates, they all got COVID, so we're just playing video games all day for a long time. Time sort of stopped, honestly. But now I'm back with a podcast. Episode number 5, I think, with Ibby, Azab, Ibrahim, good mate of mine. Again, I feel like I say that about everyone, but genuinely, I'm just blessed to have lots of good friends, I guess. But yeah, it's a bit of a longer intro than normal. Couple of updates, I guess. Made a decision, sort of came out of nowhere, but it's just one of them things that I was thinking about, and it sort of just happened, and I said it out in the world, and now I have to do it, which is that I'm just going to quit social media for this year. I know, probably not the brightest thing when I'm trying to promote a podcast, but I just don't feel like, I feel like I'm fighting a bit of a losing battle with it, you know? It's kind of, it's definitely does add some value to my life, but I think it takes away a bit too much. Yeah. So I've been on social media long enough. I don't think a year off will do much damage. So I'm just gonna do it. How I'm gonna promote this podcast, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping it just speaks for itself. And yeah, we'll just go from there. Well, not we, because you've got nothing to do with it apart from watching, which is actually the most important part of it. But I'll see where I'll go from there. There's got big plans this year for the podcast and work in general. So I'm sure you'll hear me chat about it lots and lots if you don't get bored of me speaking, which I don't blame you if you do. But anyway, I'm not gonna keep this intro going because I'm just blabbering on. So, yeah.
Yeah. This is so weird.
It's like ASMR in real life, isn't it?
But it feels like there's like a screen in between us right now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Maybe there is. Anyway, actually, let's start. And I've actually started recording already.
Oh, okay, shit.
We're live.
I'm going to put my phone away.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Is that? Yeah, cool. I can move it around.
Yeah, it's calm. Yes, Ibrahim, Azab, episode number 5. We were meant to do this about a month ago, innit? That was hilarious. That was so funny. It wasn't funny. It was kind of funny.
I still had a good time though.
Yeah, that was hilarious. You came over.
You know.
I just got to tell this quick story. You said, you came over and we'd scheduled the podcast, and I'd just done a podcast, and after I'd done it, I wasn't feeling 100%. So I was like, all right, let me just do a COVID test just to make sure.
I'm feeling kind of achy today,
I feel kind of achy and I almost feel like I got a fever, but it's just like, let me just do a COVID test before you come. And then I'd done it, and it was hitting right here, and I was here for like 10 minutes, and it was fine. And I came down, I said hello to you, and then came back upstairs to like grab something, and I looked at the test.
Wait, you were like, I just need to go check something real quick.
Yeah. I just came up, and then I looked at the test, and it was positive. And then obviously I had to stay upstairs.
It was peak though. I was well excited.
Yeah. Well,
and just to add to that as well, I drove here.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I appreciate it.
And do you remember when I said 2 people crashed into me on the way here? It's a bit of a mad day, bro.
You got 2 people that crashed into
Yeah.
you, and then I got COVID, and that was hilarious. But anyway,
Exactly.
we're here now.
baby.
We're here, baby. Do you know what? Yeah. Before we get into it properly, or it's not even. I'm gonna get into it straight away, maybe.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I've known you for quite a long time, yeah. And with certain people, I can sort of tell how they view the world in positive light, positive light or a negative light, yeah. And I'm not with you. I'm not too sure how you view the world. As in, like, are you in a mindset of where you are? It's the mindset of like, they actually like we're all fucked in terms of like we've caused so much damage and like, and it's just like humanity sort of destroying itself. Or are you in the other mindset? It's actually bad, but I think we are sort of working through it, and we're gonna come out all right.
Yeah.
Where'd you sit
in terms of
just as humanity?
I mean, like, I think obviously it comes a lot in my work as well, and it's sort of like that big question. There's this like friction in our lives, and then, like. There's so much shit going on. You don't know if you're doing the right thing or the good thing or whatever. But I'm quite a positive person, man. Like, I feel like I'm an optimistic person.
Yeah.
And like, I think we can always like work our way through a problem or whatever, or what's ever going on. Like, if, you know, like we might not live in the best society in the world, sort of thing. But it's not to say like, you know, throw that all in the bin. There are certain things from it which, you know, is useful and actually have made our lives like more enjoyable or whatnot, and certain things like that. You know, like we're in a privileged position to be, you know, us sort of filmmakers, photographers, like to have this equipment to make all this stuff, sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel lucky in that sense to be where I am. But at the same time, like I'm pissed off at the world. Isn't it? You know? there's a lot that I want to change, sort of thing.
Yeah, of course.
So, but
I think that's a healthy mindset, though.
Yeah.
I think that like being positive, but also like, you know, looking at positive negatives and being like, yeah, like there's stuff that we can do better, type of thing. You know, and it's like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, like you know, as I'll probably say this a million times already, but in order to make something new, you got to break the past like into pieces and figure out what's going on, and then like that's how you make a new future in it. So like it's the present and the past, you add it together, like break stuff up. But you know, you don't have to like completely obliterate everything to make something new. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a bit tapped, right? If you ask me.
Yeah. But also that's sort of how it's worked in the past. You know, like when there's been wars and stuff, and everything has just gone to shit. Like there's always like a big revolution afterwards.
Yeah, man, exactly. If you look at the history of art as well, like most movements that have happened in art have happened after a time of war or like peril or something, because that's, you know, like literally the cities, Berlin, Germany, like in London as well, in Second World War, like you walk around and buildings are just smashed to pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally broken. And there's a period in which people work together and they, you know, no matter what ideology they're in at that time, but they work together and like build a new future in it. So that's what it's about, really. So
it does bring people together, innit? When it
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like even now, like COVID, like the C word, everyone's talking about COVID, like whatever. But
the C word,
like it's a thing where no matter what class you're in or like, you know, what experience you have in life and whatnot, we're all now in the same boat, innit?
Yeah,
like,
in the same boat. Everyone
does not give up. Like at this point, whoever's done this to us does not give a fuck like where you're from, what you do, whatnot. So, but it's interesting to see how people within those separate, like, you know, sections or like, you know, in society deal with that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But mostly, it is working together in it. I think we've seen a lot of that, which is good, and it puts people in a different mindset to be like, oh, what else could I do? You know. So, but yeah, man. Interesting times ahead, I think. You know, like that's what I'm positive, innit? You know, like, yeah. As I was saying, I'm watching The Matrix, bro. That is crazy. You see when Neo at the end, and he's just like liberating the whole. That's what I'm saying. No matter how dark situation you're in or whatever, like you still got hope to cling on to and like make things better. So
there's always hope.
There's always hope.
Star
Wars is up. Come on, big up Star Wars, man.
Yeah, just
what I'm saying.
Are you big on any of the films, like you know, like the classic big Star Wars, Harry Potter?
Yeah, I loved Star Wars when I was a kid.
Yeah,
like loved it.
That was your thing.
Yeah, it's my thing, bro. I even had like in America, obviously you get mad like Star Wars memorabilia and stuff, and like toys and whatnot.
merchandise.
Shit. I had all the lightsabers. You know the ones where you
Almost
flick them out? Yeah. No, I didn't. I never got the ones where you actually fight each other and they make a noise and stuff.
Yeah,
that was quite expensive. I remember, but I remember my auntie bought me this like. It's just like a plastic thing in it. You press a button and it extends. Yeah, bro. I was rolling around everywhere with that, and it was so funny.
That is sick.
And I had a little Obi-Wan Kenobi fucking braid.
Yeah.
Clicking braid. I love that shit.
That was sick.
And every time on my birthday, my mum would go like take me to see Star Wars and shit. I had bare toy. Jar Jar Binks was my guy.
No way. I never knew that. That's hilarious. Any other ones like Lord of the Rings and that? Or
do you know what? Not really. Like
not really.
I still to this day I couldn't tell you what happens in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like it's some dark shit, but
they were just walking through hills and killing monsters. I'm saying.
Not saying.
Well, I'm saying. Harry Potter.
Yeah, I watched Harry Potter when I was younger, but like
again, Star Wars your thing.
Yeah, I remember I had the Harry Potter like tapes, and I used to listen to them. Yeah. I used to listen to them like before going to bed, sort of thing. Like it was like a narrator telling the story. Like,
it was in tapes. I thought you meant like VHS video. No, just like actual.
Sorry, yeah, not VHS.
Oh, it's like an audiobook.
Yeah. But it was on tape, innit?
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it was pretty jokes.
Yeah.
Like
the new ones, Stephen Fry.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's sick. He does. Well, mate,
he knows.
He knows.
It, you're going to sleep.
Yeah, you're going to sleep. That's sick.
Wait, what about you? Are you
Harry Potter?
Guy?
Huh?
Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Harry Potter.
Yeah, I fucking love Harry Potter. Yeah. But yeah, Star Wars. It was just never really part of my childhood that much, innit?
Right. Okay.
I watched Lord of the Rings and stuff, but no, like, yeah, that's definitely Harry Potter. Then the fourth one as well. There's a scene where basically there's the Goblet of Fire in it. And it's like different schools come together and they compete and shit.
Yeah.
And there's a school, there's the Bulgarians in it.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. And then the guy, Victor Crumb, mate.
Oh, wait, they're the big boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny because obviously it's like a proper. There's like one school with like all girls and elves and stuff. It's like nice music, and then like the Bulgarians come. It's like dum 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 dum. It's jokes, bruv. Hey, I loved it. Yeah, it's Victor Crumb, my guy. He looks so Bulgarian as well, like shaved head and that.
What, did he come through the tracksuit as well?
Nah, I wish. that tailored like.
Yeah, that'd be sick. They should, bro. You should redo the scene. That would be so funny.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Bare man in tracksuits about to play Quidditch.
Yeah. When I lived back in Clapham, I remember I used to walk past the park in at Clapham Common and see so many people playing Quidditch.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a full thing, like proper nerdy thing. Like it's like a sport, yeah.
What, with an audience as well?
Nah, I'm sure they have matches with audience, but it's just people playing in it. There's like actual teams in that,
right?
And they're just training, and they're just like it's so cringe. Like bless them, but like
bless them. No, do that thing, man.
No. Do you know what? Yeah, like if they're enjoying it, like like it just obviously like when you're walking past, it just looks a bit ridiculous, innit? But whatever, man. If you're enjoying it, who cares if it looks ridiculous? They're just holding a broom, and they're just running, and it all have like their sticks and that. And
wait, what kind of brooms have they got? Wait, like they look like proper Harry Potter ones.
Sticks in it.
They're just gone to the park, around the bush, and it's just like, come, let's play. That's sick, though.
That's sick. Yeah. Funny though, man.
Jokes.
Funny.
What's the weirdest sport you ever played? Do you reckon?
Weirdest sport?
You're a water polo guy, no?
Nah, I'm
really
terrible at swimming.
Is it?
Yeah. I've only, do you know what? This year I've only really started swimming because I joined the gym with a pool. So I've been breaststroking away because I can't really do this one. Can't really do
really.
But yeah, my breaststroke's getting good. But honestly, I've been. My whole life been terrible swimming.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, you're proper athletic as well.
Yeah. Just like, I can't swim though. Like it's so funny.
Mad.
Just like I walk up to the pool, look like fucking like Michael Phelps, and I'm just like get in the pool and just drown. You're like,
oh shit, man, that's mad. Yeah, I thought you'd be like, like in what's it, The Incredibles?
Yeah. Boom. Nah, awful. Yeah, awful. I actually got a swimming lesson for the first time like 3 months ago.
What?
Yeah. I was at gym and I was like, nah, mate, I actually need to get this fucking swimming lesson. And I got this lady, this Colombian lady, Maria. She was jokes. And she was teaching me how to swim. It was so funny because you feel like a kid, innit?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, put your legs up and.
That's so sweet, though.
It's hilarious.
Sick. Big up what Maria, isn't it?
Maria, big up Maria.
Big up Maria, man.
Big up Maria. She's she's so sweet.
That's such a because you remember that shit when you were a kid as well. Just like first time you got in the pool.
Yeah.
I swear my mum just dashed me in the deep end straight, and it just
Swim.
yeah, classic Irish behaviour. Just like go on, boy,
God,
get in there.
that is hilarious. Are you good?
Yeah, that's mad. Bro, I can't do nothing now anyway. I just like haven't really. No, I can't swim in it.
You
Like,
can
I used
swim,
to love
yeah.
swimming. Like,
Okay, yeah.
I went like every week when I was little and stuff like that. So, like, that's what I got big on my mum for all that stuff. Actually, is like taking me to like
All the different
because
activities.
as you grow up, you just like you realize that it's hard. It's, like even to organize shit with your friends and stuff. But let alone like take your kid. It's not even for you, isn't it? You just like take your kids to this thing for them to have fun.
Yeah. It's just actually it's effort. It's
Isn't
effort.
it?
Like
It's
bigger parents because like it's effort, mate.
I'm like talking to like a lot of people that I assist on jobs and stuff, like their parents and like quite close to them, talking about their experiences as parents in it, and like just talking about like the first time you go down to the park, you take your kids to the park, and like the first time you like talk to other parents and stuff. Like you have to make friends with these donkeys.
Yeah.
Or like one of their kids punches your kid or something like that. Like, what'd you do?
Like, what'd you do? Like,
what the fuck you do, man? Like you can't go at them. You just got to be like,
nah, because also at the same time, like I actually wouldn't give a shit though. Like,
innit?
like sorry, like yo. Either way as well. Like if my kid punched someone, I'd be like sorry, like they're kids, innit? And then if someone else's kid punches my kid, like gotta deal with it, mate. Like,
Innit? Yeah.
like, what I'm supposed to do, I'm not gonna go up to the parents. I'm my kid.
Unless you proper. Like,
Well, also I'm saying that now, but when I'm a parent, I don't know, innit?
Yeah.
It might be different because everyone says that, like, like when you get kids, like all your views change on how it's all done.
I think they do that. They do to an extent, though, innit? Because you just like, it's not about you anymore in a weird way.
No.
It's about someone else.
Yeah, it's actually not. For a long time anyway, like for a good 18 years, your life actually becomes like a bit secondary.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You want kids, innit? You want kids. That was like a said that like a rhetorical question.
Like, I want kids, man. Like, I'm dying to have kids, sort of thing. But I mean, yeah, it's a nice, it's a nice idea.
It's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to do. Like bringing someone into the world, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But do you know, it's mad. Like, I was talking to some people before, and like talking about having children and stuff. They're like, I don't want to bring a kid into like this mad world, all this shit.
I hear that a lot.
Going back to our conversation earlier, right? Just like, come on, man. Like, that's kind of the most beautiful thing you can do, innit? Like, and I think in my situation, like, big up my parents, whatever, but I was actually a mistake, sort of thing. So, like, I actually was not meant to be here. But
I don't know why I'm laughing.
but it's funny though. Like,
no, it's funny because it's the chances of us just like.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like, for me to experience what I had in my life so far, and to think like that could have not happened, like this, nothing, like in that white space in the Matrix, just whatever, just like looking around. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'd like to do that, that'd be cool.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, it does actually make me sad when people say that. Like, I don't want to bring up a kid in this world. It's like, well, it's quite a dark way of like living because you just think it's like.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you have to be really strong to have a kid and stuff, and like pass on your knowledge and like make sure they're a good person and like growing up, make sure to do good things. Sort of, you know what I'm saying? So like, if not in a weird way, but like if there was a way that I can pass on everything to someone else,
and then for them to like better that, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
Not even that, like better the world in some way. Like if they can grow up to like think differently and like
Of course. That's what generational change in it and stuff. Like it's always happening. It's inevitable. It's just I like. No. It's definitely also the other thing is like there's a lot less pressure now on having kids than there used to be. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, it was like such a thing where it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like grandparents and parents still drill it into like girls at like from the age of like, 18 to like, oh yeah, I'd love some grandchildren. You know what I mean? Like
Bro, my mum asked me a bit that like what I say recently in the past 6 months. It's like, are you seeing a girl yet or anything?
Yeah.
What? What's going on, man?
Do you want kids, please? My career, mum.
Yeah, innit?
I live in London. You know how expensive it is. Like, whoa, like.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's a bit like I don't know. It's just there's more to it than like bringing a kid into a mad world, because it's all subjective how mad the world is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It could end tomorrow.
It could.
It could right now, but it's
not
like,
about
it's
that,
not.
is it?
It's not likely. But whatever, man.
You know what I'm saying, man? That's why I say. I've always said to people, like, you know, live your life. Don't go mad in it. Like, do what you want, but live your life as if like tomorrow might be the last day. Sort of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no. We're all gonna go somewhere
At some point. Yeah, at some point. Yeah.
So like, while you're here, make the most of it, sort of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Like the Steve Jobs stand-up thing, innit? Where he done every day. At the end of the day, he would ask himself the question, like out loud in front of a mirror, like, if today was my last day, would I be a satisfactory last day type of thing? Yeah. And obviously, it's not completely realistic for every day to be that 100%. But like, for his thing was like, if I have too many days in a row where my answer's no, then like I should.
Man's got to fix something.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just about to change something.
I need to get more sales this year. Bring the iPad thing out.
Bring the iPads in. No. But of course, like, it's important. It's important to be like, self-reflective and just like ask yourself those questions, like, because it's important to live a happy life at the end of the day. Yeah, man.
And that's it, man. Well, that's what people need, isn't it? To don't be afraid to reflect on that shit and like, you know, realize the areas in which you feel like your life's going a bit weird or like something doesn't make sense, whatever. You know, especially like people getting politically involved and stuff, and like, bro, I'm watching all these documentaries in America recently, man. It's quite crazy. It's mad place.
America's mad. I sort of love it though. I sort of love it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
It is mad. Just like,
just there's just so many extremes in so many different directions of societies. You know what I mean, there's like from the most like typical like far right, then there's far left, but obviously there's a lot more than that, because then there's like super religious people, like crazy religious people, and there's super atheists and super hippies where they're like,
yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Live in like lawless places. They just made like a little camp in like fucking Arizona. You know what I'm saying? They just like live in like make like a house from fucking tires and stuff.
Off the grid and that. Yeah, it's mad. Well, if you think like, wait, how big is it? Third or second biggest country? Third.
Yeah,
because it's Russia, China, and then
US, maybe India, maybe Australia.
There's bare land. You think of like what's going on in that land, or like, and sometimes I think when I'm at home, I like to think like, what's happening right at this second, like sitting in my bed, like on this side of the planet or whatever. There's just bare shit going on at once, and you just think like how quickly things are moving now, and it just like information. How you meant to keep up with that, and like so many people at one time and stuff. You know, that's why like the internet is like impacted like America massively. In that sense as well, just like bare shit going on, man. It's insane.
Well, not just the whole world, isn't
Exactly,
it? And also like what the like the meaning of meme, innit? You know, like memes obviously have become like incredibly
What is
popular.
meme short for? I actually don't know.
It's not necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily short for anything, but like its actual meaning is like a piece of information that can go past languages. It can connect to different cultures and different societies without the like barrier of language sort of thing. I don't think that's the exact, but it's just like a piece of information that can just travel societies incredibly quick, innit? And that's just become such a thing where it's like, obviously memes is jokes and stuff, but there's so much more. There's news and like all this other stuff.
What's your favorite meme page? Have you got one?
Nah. Do you know, I'm doing a year off Instagram, innit?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. So
Bare people doing that now.
do you know what it is? Yeah.
It's like, yeah, cool. You know, what is it? Go on.
For me, it's like, it's one of them things where I just had to admit to myself, that I was almost like fighting a losing battle with Instagram, where it's like, yes, I do use it and I do get work from it, but I don't think that outweighs the negatives I get from it.
Okay.
Like, I just find myself way too often getting lost in the algorithm, just scrolling and stuff.
Lost in the matrix.
And it's always at times of like weakness, and when I'm tired, like when I'm not feeling too good, I'm just chilling in bed or just want to relax, but I just end up going on my phone because it's just so easy, and I just find so many moments just like lost, so many hours I'm just like brain dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been on social media for like most of my adult life, innit? Like it's not going to do any pain to just come off it for a year and just like see what happens and like just take a break from it. Yeah. Because I'll do Twitter as well. So like no Twitter and Instagram.
See, I don't maybe because I don't know. I got kind of bored. I used to use it.
What, Insta or Twitter?
Twitter. Well, yeah, I had like an extensive Twitter account when I was younger, when I was at college and stuff. And that was like counter Tumblr sort of thing. That's when like people were using Tumblr and stuff. So like I use it a lot, but now like I don't know why I don't feel any reason to like it's because it's all news, isn't it, basically?
No, Twitter, do you know what? Twitter can be great. There's things I really like about Twitter, there's things I don't really like about Twitter, but it's quite a good way of it's an interesting way of people spreading information because it's all about people liking and sharing. But like, I mean, it's also good for artists because like now they also have the thing where it's like the images that you upload in there. I know it's like a minor thing, but the images that you upload are like well high res,
right?
Okay, and it's actually just nice to look at.
Because that's what I found it nice for, was like someone put up a nice article or something like that. Like
and that's also really good. Like just for news and stuff, and also like it's just nice to like follow people that you like, because quite often they're like a lot of people that have interesting stuff to say tend to have interesting Twitter accounts. Not all the time, of course, but like
Reddit as well. Reddit's another thing which like I've got an account, but I just don't know how to use that shit.
Don't know how to use it. Did you use forums back in the day? Oh, not really.
Nah, not really. I know it works like a forum sort of thing, but it's just like when like there are so many. Which ones do you read?
Well,
like,
it's all about what you pick and choose, isn't it? Like sometimes, I don't use it too much, but like I'll go and like there's a popular page and it's just like see what's like upvoted the most today and stuff, and there's interesting stuff because again it's curated by the people. It's not so obviously there's some moderation and stuff, and like some subreddits get like cancelled and stuff.
Okay, right.
But like it's most of it's pretty free flowing. Right.
Yeah, fair, because Jack's always sending me stuff from there.
Yeah, Jack loves. I got him. I've got him on my Reddit. Yeah, I think he's like my only like, I don't even know what you call it on Reddit. But yeah, also some wild shit on Reddit, bro. Like, because it's a lot of it's like no filter in it. So you have like proper like not safe for viewing pages, as in like proper like just like news stories, but with the actual like videos and stuff, like people getting shot.
Oh,
and,
really?
Like, yeah, and like people like
madness,
dying in factories, getting sucked up by like fucking big machines and that. Like some proper gory stuff on there. I mean,
there are still some there are some websites because like Ruben was telling me the other day, he was like, bro, I just found this mad website. It's like people getting murked. I was like, what? Why?
Yeah. It's just raw news type of thing, innit? It's heavy though. It's real heavy. And sometimes it's like there's definitely a barrier of like there's definitely an ethical barrier there.
Do you think people are becoming like decent? This is like, I think this goes back to one of my questions about like the globalization and shit, and like the internet like coming off social media and being like, I need to step away from that world in a weird way, because do you feel there's a certain amount of like numbing to what is actually going on by seeing all this shit like all the time? Like basically, do you feel you became like desensitized through using like social media?
Yeah, to an extent it definitely desensitizes you, because I mean also like or like to like take even a like step further back, it's almost it becomes a chemical imbalance in your body. Like I watched a really, really great podcast about dopamine recently.
Yeah.
And like it's basically this professor from Stanford, Huberman Lab. He's got a really good podcast. Anyway, he was talking about dopamine and how much of a buzzword it's sort of become. So he sort of broke it down in a proper from a proper professional. And it was really interesting. He was saying like how different things spike your dopamine and how it raises, but like just for like repeated use of something that like makes you feel good or whatever, just basically raises your dopamine level at like the base level. But like say say you like you have sex in it and you feel like euphoric.
Yeah.
So say that's how high your endorphin gets.
Yeah.
And your baseline's here, so you feel this much better than how you normally feel.
Yeah.
But say you do stuff like using social media or smoking a lot, or just stuff that like gives you constant highs. That the base level like gets higher and higher, but the peak doesn't get higher. So like say like now you're here, now your base level's here, so you only feel half of what you were feeling before, just because your base level is just higher. So I'm not sure if I explained that great, but like basically it's you do get desensitized to things purely down to like chemical.
Your chakras are disaligned.
Yeah, not even chakras disaligned. It's just like your body does not producing the right chemicals and like too much of something, not enough of other stuff. But at the same time, also it's just like I think at one point I just stopped appreciating photography, like on Instagram.
Images.
Yeah,
Bro, this is one of my arguments. Images are evil. They can be evil.
And I'll just scroll on Instagram, and I'll see an image. I'm like, that's cool. I scroll past and I was like, wow. And I scroll back and I'm like, wow, that's actually an amazing piece of art, yeah. But I'll be like, I just can't appreciate it. Because like it's just there and you're
gonna flick past it in a couple seconds and probably forget that shit.
Forget it. And like that's it. And like, but obviously when I see it like physical, obviously like you do like a lot of physical stuff at like, exhibitions and stuff. It's just standing in front of something, just looking at it, and appreciating it.
Yeah.
It's such a different effect.
Do you know what's interesting? Like this idea of like travel with images in it, like being transported into another space, sort of thing. Like, yeah, it's great. Like you have digital technology where you can literally go and like visit any image or like see anything, sort of thing like that. And that's cool. And there's an interesting sort of like idea of movement in that, and like juxtaposition in like where you are and sort of what you're seeing, your state of mind. Yeah. Whereas like if you have a physical thing, like the artists maybe have already done all that part, like, you know, surfed the web and found all these images and like cut things up and brought it into a physical space where someone can stand in front of it and feel like that person was standing here, like in front of that image, sort of thing. Whereas like if it's on a screen, everyone's got their own screen in it. Like you only see that stuff in private.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Saying?
Yeah, okay. I see
so
what
like
you're getting
on
at.
the internet, everything's private.
Everything's private, but when you're seeing it physically, you know that someone's been in your shoes, looking at that painting.
That's very important because it's a very much collective experience of art itself, and like being in a room with people, other people, like talking about it and shit like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and it's on the wall. You can look at it for as long as you want, or like you can choose to walk away from it and stuff like that.
But just I think purely because like, I mean, it's the same. It actually works exactly the same in the physical world, I think, where it's like, say you have an image here on the wall, and it's on its own. Maybe there's like an image like 5 meters away. You have your concentrations on it, and then you can look at it, whatever. There's not too many distractions around. But say that there's that image as well, but it was the whole wall was completely covered with images, You're not going to look here for as long.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of the same thing with Instagram.
Exactly.
So if you have like, because there's just purely because there's less things to focus on, and your mind.
What's that thing? It's called instant gratification, isn't it? Yeah, that's sort of like the new model of how things on like marketing is working now. It's like, you know, using that thing a bit later, like drugs as well, isn't it? Smoke a zoot, feel bare high, the wears off after a while, sort of thing. And that's that thing of like lifting your endorphin levels up and stuff like that. It's mad what's going on. Like information is probably the most valuable thing in the world right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, information and attention.
Yeah,
like people's attention. Like that's
even the new like NFT thing. You know, I don't want to go mad into
that's
that
fine.
shit,
I love NFTs. As in like I'm interested in it.
But part of the value is like bragging rights, isn't it? Is to like be able to say like I own this thing.
Yeah,
you know, that's why it's valuable.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's just like.
Do you like NFTs?
Do you know what, man? I haven't really researched too much into that stuff, and you know that a lot of my like friends and artists are using them. But it just seems like the people who really are making significant work in that world aren't really getting that financial support from Like, it seems like the people who are making just like funny shit and making it an NFT are getting bags from it, sort of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same in any other like market, basically, or in the art world. Some of the real people are like working their asses off their whole lives, and they study some of this stuff, and then when it comes to that, it's like I don't know, it's weird. Do you know how like you have certain like very, very commercial art galleries where you just like where they sell like Mickey Mouse paintings and shit like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that sort of thing will still exist in this new world.
100%,
like,
yeah.
But what's different is that there is so much more at stake in terms of like money and like who's going to be in power and stuff like that. So
yeah, and the one good thing is it does work in artists' favor where you like
you can tag it with like when it was made and stuff. And, like,
whenever it's made, and you always get money from it,
royalties.
In the future. Yeah, you always have like.
Do you know that actually still that exists like now?
Yeah, it does.
But this is like people will get fucked over anyway, innit? Because like they're just like, yeah, I don't care. Whatever. Like if it was 30 years down the line.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like, you know what I mean? Like in the physical world, physical world is like people lie in it and people do dodgy shit, and people will always do dodgy shit. 100%.
But do you not think, because it is all like cyber information, it's like that is kind of out there, even as protected as it is. I'm not sure how.
It's very like there's
there must be someone out there that could just like.
I don't know, innit?
We're talking about the Matrix right now.
Do you know what it is?
Neo's out there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He's probably
the
CryptoPunk.
hacker.
Like, but the thing is, like, it's quite a robust system. The way, yeah, man, yeah. Like, it's quite a robust system, innit? Like the whole idea of the blockchain.
Yeah.
Like it, because everyone has to like. Whatever, I don't know. Do you like Bitcoin cryptocurrencies, Joe? Have you ever?
I like hearing about. Yeah. I mean, like it's always good to learn more about it because I'm like.
Yeah. So the way the blockchain works, yeah. Say there's 4 of us. So there's 4 people, yeah. Me, you, person A and person B, yeah.
It's Ella and Katie, yeah.
Yeah, Ella and Katie, cool. Yeah, just to make it like whatever. So say I have 5 Bitcoin, yeah, and then I'm gonna give you 5 Bitcoin for whatever reason. I bought something from you. We've just made a transaction. Yeah. So the whole thing is based on something called a ledger. Say it's a notepad, yeah. So we all have a notepad, and these notepads are public, like so everyone can see what's on the notepads. So I have to write on my notepad that I've given you 5 Bitcoin. You have to write in your.
I received 5 Bitcoin.
Yeah, they receive Bitcoin, and then them 2 also have to write that
we've done that.
We've done that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's constantly happening, and then obviously it's kind of like a thing where everyone has to do all the transactions. So
a blockchain can just be between a certain amount of people.
Yeah, it's just
right, cool.
Yeah, well, not necessarily like but that's how the whole blockchain works.
Right. Okay. So everyone can see everyone's. At any time.
Yes, but like but the thing is, it's anonymous because you're not Ibby. You're 01 UX blah blah blah. Yeah. You're just because
that's
so those numbers represent a wallet in it. So it just represents a wallet that you own. You might own a few different wallets as well. So it doesn't. So it just means that like 5 Bitcoin has been transferred from wallet A to wallet B, and then we've both agreed that's happened, and then everyone around us has also agreed that that's happened.
Yeah.
And everyone has to write it down. So then that means that like if like people can't lie, you know what I mean? Because then like it would be like a thing with like, well, hold on, we've all written that's happened, but you've written it hasn't happened.
Okay.
Other way around.
That's smart.
It's really because actually it's well simple. It's really simple, like,
and because it's all digital, it just happens like instantly.
It just happens, yeah. But also like it takes a lot of computing power. You know what I mean? That's why they're saying like Bitcoin's not very like green and environmentally friendly.
Oh, bruv, it's another step to the matrix.
It's mad.
You see the massive towers, hard drives,
graphics cards,
graphics cards.
Yeah, that's what they are. Yeah, bare graphics cards.
It's kind of mad though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gonna be in this hyper digital world. I like. But well, imagine. That's what I'm saying. Imagine, you could have this hooked up to your blockchain thing. Just walking around like looking at all the information and stuff like that.
Well, you can. Like, you can do mad shit on that, you know. Well, you know what VR chat is? Have you heard of
Is it like what is it? Chat room app?
no. VR chat, yeah, is basically it's basically the VR social media, where, but you're physically there, innit? So I can
Wait, so is this like the new metaverse thing?
No, this has been around for a while, but it's kind of like the metaverse. I haven't looked into the metaverse too much, but VR chat is really interesting. It's basically, it's just a world, innit? And then within those worlds, there's worlds. So it's like a big forum, and it's like how Reddit is, the forum, but there's different sub forums, as in those are their own little worlds.
Right.
But there's so many worlds, and so you can go to any of those places, and like there's actual people like that have your sets, so you're all in the same universe. So you can go and just chat to random people.
Have you seen that film Gamer? Is that the one?
Gamer?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot who's the actor, but it's time ago. And then there's like, it's kind of like the Matrix, like a real world and then a game. But like the people they're controlling in the game world are like, they think they're real, so everything's like real sort of thing. But one of the brothers like breaks out and like starts doing the madness. But everyone in the real world has just got these headsets on in it. And like, I remember this one scene, there's this like big guy, like sweaty as fuck, hamburgers everywhere, sort of thing, just, like, dirty and it, like bare screens. And he's just like bare creepy dude, like going and meeting girls online and stuff like that. But like having these like rooms where you could come in and out of and like different spaces you can like inhabit. But that's weird.
That's weird.
That's going to happen.
Wow. Weird shit has happened.
And then obviously you have to have all the set, like, it has to be monitored all the time. So
what do you mean? What has to be monitored?
To make sure that there aren't like really like weird people going on there and like fucking shit up and like, you know, so everything's going to be monitored like proper.
I don't know. I actually have no idea what's going to happen. It's so. I've been in VR chat a couple of times, and I've interacted with people in VR, and
have you got that game?
The VR chat?
Yeah.
I don't use it. I think I have it, but I've only been in it a couple of times.
Okay.
I'm not really.
What was your experience? What did you chat?
I chatted to a couple of people, but I've. Do you know what my favorite thing is? Yeah, during lockdown, this gave me a bit of like a positive view on it because during lockdown, there's when I got my VR headset, I got this table tennis game.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you saying.
Yeah. I got this table tennis game here, and I didn't know anything about it, innit? And I just walk in and like you just play table tennis with random people, but like I end up having like hour-long conversations with like random people, and but people were so nice because
Really?
but like on games, like Call of Duty or whatever the game, like. People are actually just nasty, like, fuck,
these kids as well. Even when they're on the same team as you.
Yeah, like people's like, oh, you fucking shit, like that. And everyone's shouting at each other. But the thing is just like, but on VR chat, because there's that extra level of like presence and accountability where it's like, it's actually just me and you in the room.
It's got that more face-to-face value.
Yeah. But even though like obviously we can't see this, just like avatars, we're just playing and everyone was nice. I didn't have one bad interaction because it's like, there's less of a...
What's up, bro?
Yeah, like, hey man, how you doing? Like, hey, where you at? Oh, I'm in England. I swear down, I'm in England as well. Like,
what? Really? What? Other people? Did you meet other people in England? Where?
Yeah. Like all around. I met this interesting professor, and like,
really,
like a proper professor, like university, and he did what was his study like? Like mass. What's it called? Like when a lot of people die, like a mass death event.
Like genocide, mass genocide.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah,
genocide.
He studied genocide that was caused by climate,
right? Okay.
By climate events. So like big floodings and whatever in it.
Okay.
I was just trying to.
That's crazy.
Like I had a couple interactions with him, but I don't know. It was really nice because also during lockdown as well. Like I mean. I'm quite lucky to have like people in the house and we all get along and stuff.
That's an interesting thing about this stuff as well. If you think about that, like education. You know, having access to speak to someone like who's really significant, like across the world and stuff, and feel like you're in the same room as them.
Oh, what was that app that like became
House Party?
Yeah. No, it was the other one as well. It was House Party, and then there was
Zoom? Or was
No. It was only on iPhone. Was it House Party as well? Where like people can join like little like talk, and everyone would just talk.
Yeah. I mean, like, I remember there was. Yeah, I remember using the House Party for about like 2 weeks, and then there's just bare kids on there, sort of, and everyone's like, "Oh yes." Yeah,
but there was like loads of famous people. I remember Alex and that he was just chatting to like. It doesn't matter how.
Does Twitch work like that? No, that's been.
Twitch is different. Twitch is live.
But that's kind of sick though.
Yeah, man. It was. Yeah, I had a really. Yeah, I've had some good interactions from VR. But it's
You
weird.
don't see yourself using it every day, though.
Nah. I don't know. Well, because like at some like because actually right now I can connect this to my so I can connect to my computer. Yeah.
You play Warzone on that?
No. So
Okay.
not all games are made for VR in it. So
Right.
there's some specific ones, but I can connect to my computer and actually just use it as a monitor, like a massive monitor.
That's so mad.
And I can have like 4 different screens, and I can just look around and like just still use my mouse.
Bro,
and
that
keyboard.
shit's scary. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I'm a bit of a technophobe in it, and it's actually a term that I've read a lot about.
Technophobia.
Just like technophobia. innit?
Technophobia, yeah. Sorry.
And it's like become a big thing in sort of like recent months. And even it's funny, like I was listening to Virtual Insanity by Jamiroquai, and that song was about like technophobia and stuff, and like basically the use of technology getting overrun is just going to make people like things are just going to start coming out of place and shit, you know. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like it's a bit overwhelming.
Did you watch Social Dilemma?
Yeah. All that shit's true, man. Like, you know, that it's all your information being monitored, things being thrown at you. So it's like, again, advertising, the placement of images. Some place in America, like, it's even madder there, but like, go through Piccadilly Circus. It's like, you look anywhere and there's something like, what the fuck? Like, and it's like on this big, beautiful screen, you can't keep your eyes off it. It's like being a fly in it, to like a fly light. What are they called? When they attract the flies in it and it just goes, kills them straight away.
What?
You not seen them? You got like in kitchens and stuff.
Yeah.
They have this like purple light.
Oh, the zappers. The zappers.
Yeah. But with the flies, all them
Just like Leicester, just like the screen. Do you know how to go there and like film like an advert, as in like just like on while I was playing on the screen? I had to wait for like an hour, bro. Just like sitting there and just like wait, because they have like time slots in it, so it will happen like every half an hour or something.
Okay.
Or like, I can't remember. But like the adverts are next level, bro.
Yeah,
They're like all 3D and shit now. So, have you ever just sat and looked at them?
It's painful. I remember like even coming out of the station, turning around, like, bro,
It's fucking.
what's going on? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
It's overwhelming. But I think that's a great term for it, because I think, and that's one of the reasons like I'm coming off it. You know what I mean? Or trying to reduce just the amount of it, because
I feel like some of it makes you, you know, like screens are amazing. They're so technology advanced. Like all this stuff, you feel like more advanced as a human in that sense. So like you're able to access more parts of the world and more information, all that stuff. But you're still human. Like you're still a human being. Do you know what I'm saying? In that way. And I think people forget that like we are still like, you know, like bound within our bodies to an extent. You should experience that part, you know, like all those things as well. They're very important in developing as a person and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
physically, but mentally as well. Because I think people really become their online personas. You know what I mean? I feel like some people, and I think that's again, like it's a bit. It probably doesn't stem from a good place. It's like if you don't have like too many friends or whatever, but you can have interactions online, like then you sort of like form this personality that you form from like these weird interactions that you just wouldn't have in normal life. You know what I mean? Like on Twitter and stuff, when people just argue with each other, we're just like, like, that's not what you do in real life, bro. That's actually not what you do. Like, and you have discussions and arguments, of course, but it's not every day.
Yeah.
It's not every day. Like,
and also I think it has an influence on how people should work as well, especially like within the art world.
Should work.
Yeah.
In one
like,
sense.
For example, like in the art world, like my Instagram, I don't really follow like a lot of people who document their life or whatever. Like, it's purely for seeing people's work and that stuff. And again, it has those negative things like, yeah, sometimes I might just see it briefly and whatever, but there are certain things which you're like, oh shit, like go into their account and look at what they're doing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's a lot of pros. There's like, I think, yeah, like social media has had like some amazing impacts on life. Like,
but the point is, again, like if certain people and a lot of people will be like, oh, I feel so bad, I haven't made anything over lockdown, or like all this and that, and like some people look like they're doing bare shit. But really, like it doesn't look like that at all. Like that's another thing. People could have made that stuff like years ago and just decided to put all of it out at once, or like, and it makes, I think, in the development as being an artist as well, you have to be very careful with it in that way, especially as a student, because there's like a lot of hype around like who's making what, and like, you know, I'm doing this show, I'm doing that show, like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like being focused on your practice is the most important thing, or like, you know, your goals that you want to achieve, because that can, you know, make it very confusing and then like change your path to a certain extent, you know.
Yeah, it's just comparing, isn't it? Like people just comparing yourself is just sort of inevitable. But like me personally, innit, I have this kind of issue with social media where I like can't stand it. Like it's when people come up to me, and like, oh, KOKO, like I see you doing like this and that and this and this and that. I'm thinking, no, I'm not doing that. Why are you putting me on a pedestal? Like I think sometimes it's like, and
you're still the same guy though.
No, it's like I'm the same guy, but it's like I don't like when it's not about the people that come up to me. It's just that sort of thing where I'm just trying to, when I was, you know, on Instagram, you're trying to like give off as an I'm almost trying to give him like as an honest possible view of like what I'm doing and stuff. I don't want to like pretend like I'm working and like all this stuff. But sometimes like that happens, and I just hate being a part of that sort of like competition where it's like, you know, someone would see that I'm doing something and they'd be like, oh shit, like I'm not doing it, like I suck. And I don't know.
See, someone was telling me about that. Like a lot of students when they do their master's degree, like especially in the arts, get this thing called diving board syndrome. Diving board syndrome. Yeah, and it's about like everyone's there, like the Olympics, for example. Like everyone's crowded around what's gonna watch you dive, do your dive. That's a big this is your big moment. So it's that thing of like making sure your dive is the best one that can be possible, because otherwise you're like your shit sort of thing. But it's the idea that everyone's like watching you, you know, what are they going to do next?
It is. Yeah, I think it's the watching and the like trying to like keep up like I don't know, innit? People use Instagram for different things. Some people like put on personas and become these people that are only on Instagram, but that's obviously, and most of the people around us don't really do that.
Well, they're all images anyway.
They're all images anyway.
It's not real. Yeah, none of it's real. Anyway,
but it's inevitable to make a reality out of an Instagram just by looking at an Instagram timeline. You know, it's just inevitable. You just look at someone's Instagram, you think, oh, they're doing this and this and whatever, and then you sort of make up like a backstory of them without even sort of actually knowing what's happening. But I don't know.
Yeah, there's so many interesting things that are going on though, man. It's like new media and stuff. Like, it's pretty interesting where the sort of human psychology is going to go from now. But yeah, before I came here, I was reading this bit from this guy called Maurice. He's an old like writer. I forgot his last name. But yeah, his book called The Space of Literature. Big up Alexander Moran if he's gonna watch this, whatever. He told me to read it. But there's a really interesting part in the idea of like being a maker in that idea, like, and I could appropriate that to nowadays, where as someone that has an account online or whatever, you're creating content, like you're putting stuff out there, like you become a maker in that stuff, and it's quite an empowering thing to be able to do. Is like control what you put out there, control your environment. Like that is what, you know, essentially an artist is in a way, is changing things. But he's saying, like, as a writer, the act of writing in a way is forgetting, and the more information that you lock down and stuff, because it is written down, you feel like you don't have to remember that, or like, and again, there's so much information that people have recorded or made or like put out there, they sort of feel like maybe they don't need to return to that thing or whatever, or like online especially, you just like scroll and forget about shit all the time. But it's mad. Yeah,
I know what you mean, because like back in the day, people would only put out their best work and but now it's just like people just putting out
Yeah.
stuff. Like for example, I was in some art gallery in like on LA, I think, and there was like a Michelangelo thing, and like amazing like sculptures, paintings, like it's all like crazy and like so fucking detailed and so like just like it's so impressive, isn't it? It's just so impressive the amount of like work that's gone into it. And then you know the guy obviously there was like a I wasn't on the guide, but there was like a guide happening. I was sort of just like listening in it, and he was just sort of just saying about like how much of work, his own work, he destroyed. You know what I mean? He would just like do like an amazing thing, but he was like, that was only for practice, so like I don't need it. You know what I mean? That was its only reason. The only reason I made this was for me to just be better at what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't have to show it to anyone. And I think there's definitely like a romantic sense of that sort of like a lone artist. Yeah, like sitting at home, like no one's watching, and like you're painting, you're filming, you're taking like a still life thing, whatever you're doing in it, but just no one else watching and no one else needs to know. The only reason you're doing this,
it's for you, innit?
It's for you.
Yeah, that's it.
It's for you. That's when I think the magic happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's why I love art, man. And like, as much as I might bang on sometimes, like, photography is bullshit. Like, like I love like sculpture, I love painting, like all these different. I don't think any art form is more significant than another.
What's your favorite art form?
Out of all of them,
yeah. Like, and why, obviously.
So in terms of like, I always said if I was gonna like my first piece of art that I would buy, because I don't want to talk about what I do or whatever, because that's like sort of a separate thing in a way, but probably like a painting, innit?
Just a painting, like a straight.
Like my first piece of art would probably be a painting of some sort, like an abstract painting. But I don't know. I love all of it, innit? There's not one single media that you know, because they're all like is when you think of what art is, or like the idea of replicating something or copying, that will never be the thing it is trying to say, like the actual thing. You know, like you can. It's going back to like Magritte and the pipe, saying like, do you know that painting? So it's, I think it's like "C'est not un pipe." I can't remember what it actually says, but
French.
In French, but in English it says this is not a pipe, but it's a painting of a pipe. So it's the idea.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the idea that like it's not a pipe, it's a painting of a pipe. That's what it actually is.
Yeah, that's what it actually is.
So no matter what art form you're doing, like you have a separation with reality, and there's so many because you have that separation, you can do so much shit. Like
that's interesting.
Like break the boundaries of whatever. Yeah. You know, that what reality is perceived to be in a way. You know, that's why I love all of it. And the reason why I love photography so much is because it's like so visually representative. Like whether it may represent something truly or not, but like you can show a picture of a chicken to someone, no matter where they're from in the world, and they'll be like, that's a chicken.
That's a chicken.
You know what I'm saying? But actually it's a photo of a chicken.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean, man. It's amazing. There's so many stories you can tell through that process, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world or how old you are or whatever. It's a universal language, and it's beautiful. So
art is 100%, and it's quite funny because I mean, sort of tangent, sort of not. I was watching the most recent Jimmy Carr stand up.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
It's actually good.
It's
funny. Yeah, it's funny.
It's brutal, you know.
It's brutal. I love it, bro. He drills the audience. But like the one thing he like has to keep saying now is like obviously because people like comedians tend to be one of the people that get cancelled the most in it because they're the ones that's say the crazy shit and whatever, because sometimes the crazy shit is the funniest stuff, and most of the time it's not meant to offend anyone, but like he says this thing where it's like this is I might make a joke about murder, but
I'm not doing the murder.
Like it's like this is not the actual thing. This is a joke.
That's the point of the jokes, isn't it?
Yeah, like, it's not the thing. It's a joke about the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not doing the thing, and I'm not. It's not even about like desensitizing it or making it like it's not a big deal. It's not about that. It's
that is like again appropriation at its finest as well. And it's about turning those like difficult and hard subjects to tackle into something. Because once you make something funny, especially in a comedy,
It becomes
you're blowing it up completely, just like,
and
that's a way in which people can look at it from so many different angles.
but you know what I mean? Like, do you know when it's a sticky situation sometimes, yeah, yeah, and I don't know, between people or like something bad's happened or like I don't know, like you fucking I don't know, something like an accident has happened and everyone's just and then someone cracks a joke here and it's just like
Morale
boom,
boost.
like everyone's like like
That's what
everyone's
you can forget about. Put behind you.
Yeah, put it behind you. And like, okay, guys, like it's cool. You know what I mean? Like everyone's sort of like, I don't know.
Bro, this is, I feel like, you know, one of the things I want to talk about a lot this year is how art can affect people in a positive way. You know, whether you're good at it or not, if you think you're good at it or not, whatever. Like, it's a healing process, and it is a way in which you like will build yourself up and break yourself down a million times over your lifetime. And it,
as in, like, are you talking about experiencing art or making?
No, making. Yeah. And like, well, you can do that through like, if you go and look at art shows and stuff, like writing, that's a very simple way of doing it. Just writing what you think. And like, you know, those things that tackle you in your life, how is the experience of looking at art or making art gonna like change your perception on those things that you're finding difficult in it? So again, like, yeah, it's the same thing. Like making something funny or making a joke out of it in a bad situation or whatever, blowing it out completely, and it changes your perspective on what that thing may be or how you can deal with that in the future.
I see the connection you're making.
Yeah, man, because like, again, like that famous saying, history repeats itself.
Yeah.
Like, this shit's going to happen again. Like, anything that happens in your life will probably happen again at some point. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
so
like patterns, you know what I mean? Patterns.
It's good to be prepared for that stuff, man. And like, again, like to expand it on like a bigger scale, like politically or whatnot, like how the government maybe dealt with COVID, like governments all over the world and stuff. You know, practicing those things or like thinking in that way is like, oh, how can we prevent this from happening again in the future? You know, like, and some people may think like, oh, it's mad. Like, yeah, they only had like a few months to make something that normally takes 7 years and shit like that. But why didn't they sort of think about that idea beforehand? How can we like do this quickly, like pronto in the future?
Yeah. Well, it's just it's having that it's having that. Did you watch that Don't Look Up film?
Yeah, I saw it the other night actually.
Yeah. It kind of like, I mean, the film itself, it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. It was a bit
it's quite comprehensive, but
it's simple in something. It's very like.
But I think, do you know what is like? I had a conversation about this with my housemate the other night as well. Those things are good though. I like them, and when you think about someone like a painter like Basquiat, for example, he like made childlike paintings in it. They were very simple actually in a way, but at the same time, subject matter was so complex and whatnot. And that's a problem with today is the idea, like epistemology is like the study of like knowing, or how do we know stuff, or you know.
It's a study of truth.
No. It's like the study of like knowing in it, which is it's a different conversation, but it's how do we understand information and make beliefs from those things.
Oh,
like,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's basically like understanding processes within memory and things like that. But yeah, like to have something very simple but very critical is, and I feel like it was aimed at the people that they were talking about in the film. You know what I mean? And it's kind of clever in that way because people like us could like kind of see through that shit straight away. Like, oh yeah, we get it. Like,
you're right. I see what you mean.
Bro, there were certain shots though when he was going psycho in the no spoiler alert.
No spoiler.
But when he was going psycho in the newsroom, innit? That was sick. It's just like, imagine seeing that in real life. Be like, oh my god. Like, shit is going down.
It's hilarious. That interview is
and I love
funny.
DiCaprio, man. Why are you shaking, bro? He's like laughing at it.
Yeah, he pops off, mate. He had it though.
Jonah Hill, bro. He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so funny, bro. Like when he's on,
he does that face in him. He's just like dead, like. Just like, because it's funny yeah.
And they proper dig at the government and like in a very funny way and like
yeah.
You know, I think the characterization in it is really good.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I sort of forgot my initial point I was going to make, but it's just about that, like, yeah. Again, it's sort of making a joke out of it, but like at the same time, shedding some light on things in because sometimes I think the problem with art is like just not enough people connect that can connect with certain things.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you make it simple enough, where it's almost bait. It's not bait, but it's like there's like a fine line of it becoming too simple and too like, like that in storytelling, that like show don't tell type of thing. If you have like a scene about like someone dying or whatever, I don't know, you don't have to like explain the whole thing on how he died. You can just leave it and then like let the people just imagine what actually happened. So sometimes those things can be quite simplified, but at the same time it's good because it reaches a wider audience. You know what I mean? Like you can't have something too abstract because just not enough, like by nature, just people.
Yeah.
It's just hard.
Yeah. No, I understand that, and I think it's something. Something I'm gonna sort of achieve is how do we get the like art or thinking like abstractly within like the mainstream and things like that. And it is, it's a very hard thing to tackle because there's so much involved in achieving that.
What do you want to tackle this year? Like, what's your?
I don't know, man. There's a lot I want to do, like that I want to sort of like accomplish. But in terms of like the end, I mean, like I don't know about this year. It's quite hard to.
Okay, go on. Like, do you have like a vision?
Goal, yeah. Is if I can like impact like the history of photography and art in a positive way, and also to, in some capacity, like hand over what I know to everyone in the world, like, and think a little bit of how, like maybe I see the world, or not even that, just for them to like think for themselves. Or like to get people to feel empowered about like thinking for themselves and like thinking that they can do something themselves in it. Like you don't need to be told what to do. Like, but some people might be like, oh yeah, but if they're not told what to do, they're gonna do this and da da da. But it's not. It's about like bettering yourself in it and like thinking more critically about what you're gonna do next, or like certain decisions that you make. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's what the world needs a lot of now. Is like not being told what to do and like putting your trust in someone that's done all the working out for you in it, and they're just like.
And I think I think that's really right. Actually,
having like the power to be like, nah, cool, like I can learn this thing myself, or like I just need to go and speak to this person, or like
exactly.
And that in that way, like there's more community built around that because you want to learn from other people, and like it's about love as well, like sharing your love with others and stuff. Getting through shit together, sort of thing, but in a beautiful way, man.
Yeah.
I was saying about earlier, like things are dark, man. Like the world can be a dark place.
100%.
Even like that one little shed of light, you know what I'm saying? Like can get someone through anything.
Yeah.
Especially, like someone's having a bad time or whatever. You shouldn't like shy away from it or what, as a friend or whatnot, approach them and be like, what's going on? Like open a conversation. That's it. It's like opening conversations. The more they talk about it, it just needs like one person in it. And then like your whole world can be changed. And I remember I'm very lucky to have gone to college and like gone to uni and stuff, and then like met bare of these people, like loads. I remember even going to college, like this, my teacher called Jude, like she taught me how to print black and white, and I remember just being like, this is fucking sick. Like, I didn't really have that much access to doing stuff like that before college, but she taught me that, and I'm forever grateful for that sort of shit because it's like opened my world up to so much. And you never know where things are going to lead people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
you never.
You should never say like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that because they won't be." Da, da, da. It's like, just do it, and like whatever happens, isn't it? It's just being helpful to others and like being caring in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course, and there's, and I think now, I mean, going back to the pressure thing and comparing in social media as well, but I think now is. It seems, even though it's easier than ever to put work out in the world, I think it's at the same time it's more daunting than ever because there's so much good work out there in terms of like that's impressive and whatever that you feel like. Me personally, I'm talking about myself personally. Like, there's a certain standard that you have to like. you know, you have to be
fulfill in a way.
Fulfill.
You know what's out there.
You know what's out there. Yeah. You really know what's out there because it is in your face.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not all true, man.
But that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. It's not all true, and actually, it matters a lot less because I really like that. It done that exhibition. The last one I went to with Revolve, where I think it was.
Packing 24.
Yeah. Where Lena. She like sent out like photosensitive paper and stuff. It was super simple, and like the idea of it's just like it was never really about the end product. It was just about just making something and just sitting down and just making it. I think that's like so much of art, like almost all of it actually. It's like the end product almost. Like that's
it, man.
It's just
it's just process, isn't it? That's what's more important, you know. Like,
and you have to be fair, you've got quite a vigorous process as well. Like you do a lot of just like you really experiment with your stuff.
Like I've adding and removing stuff. I think is like, you know, because that's what life is, man.
Life is.
Life is just adding and removing, man. That's what I'm saying. Wax on, wax off. That's what it is, man. It's amazing.
Everything's really.
Do you know what? There's a really good. It's like people might think I'm so stupid for saying this, innit? But what's that thing? Is it Death to All Robots? What's it called?
Oh, I fucking love that.
What's it called? Is that what it's called?
Love, Death and Robots.
Yeah. There's one episode. It's actually like I rate it. But it's kind of dumb. But it's like that blue guy, and he's like this magnificent artist, and like he was basically he's an AI, and like when he was born, he was like a fucking what is it like. Some sort of box, yeah. Or like when his consciousness came into being, he was like some sort of box, and then like his owner developed it into like humans, and then he started with just like one like blue square in it, and then like he just it's kind of
I remember, but I should probably rewatch that.
But it's kind of like that weird thing of sort of. When he got to the end, everyone's watching. He jumps in the swimming pool, and it's like he becomes like the original machine. That was it. He was a swimming pool cleaner, like as a physical thing when he was first like born, sort of thing. And he jumps in the pool, and then like just turns into a swimming pool cleaner in it. So he's just like, but it's sick because it's just like he's just this consciousness floating around. Like, nothing really matters, this sort of thing. Like it's just sort of big sort of circle. You know
just left a wave.
Because that's the other thing I always think about. Like no matter what you do in your life. Or how much you change the world and whatnot, you're still the same human being you were when you were born, innit? Like physically, like your cells change and stuff like that. But
you are.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like that. What's that thing where if you're building a boat, have you had that thing? Like over years, obviously you replace the boat parts and stuff like that. Like, is it the same boat?
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, like, is it the same boat?
Even if it performs to the same level and whatnot, like. But you know, it's still the same thing.
It's still the same thing, yeah. But I mean, its parts change. But I don't know. That's interesting. Do you know what? From that, I love Death and Robots. Yeah, there's one episode that I love. Yeah, it's so funny. There's. Have you seen all of them?
Yeah, man, I've watched them bare times. Like I could have probably forgotten.
They're good though. They're really good. So good. There's the one episode where the yogurt takes over the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny shit, man. It's like really Dardarist as well. Like I like that. It's like
dark, but it was so funny though. Like the yogurt,
super yogurt conscious.
Hey, that's me. That's what I'm eating, bro. That's what I'm eating.
It's gonna turn back into a yogurt.
That's my final art. That's
my final form.
Final form, like yeah.
Tastes good.
When people get turned into ashes, I get turned into yogurt.
What flavor are you?
I'm plain, bro.
Plain? What do you mean? What, Greek?
Yeah, Greek. Yeah, Bulgarian yogurt, fam. That's what I am, bro. Bulgaricus Maximus.
Have they got? What's your favorite Bulgarian yogurt? What is it? What was it? What? Just like made from Bulgarian milk?
No, actually, there's a whole thing. You know, so in Bulgaria they found this bacteria.
They found the bacteria.
Yeah, and it's actually called Bulgaricus.
No.
Yeah, it's funny. Like you see it on yogurt pots, isn't it? So like certain yogurt pots, not so you know when you get yogurt and it says like live culture inside sometimes.
Okay.
So just like yogurt that's alive, most yogurts are like, yeah. Like most, well, not even Actimel, just actual normal yogurts have some live bacteria in them. Just the stuff that's just good for your gut. But yeah, they found one in Bulgaria that was really good, and like I don't know, it seemed to
That sticker's got a name.
pro, but yeah. And then, so now it's just in like a lot of yogurts and stuff. You see it, it's so funny. It literally says like Bulgaricus, something else like, some like Latin thing. It's well funny though.
That's it. The final form is Bulgaricus.
Do you know what my local shop actually sells Bulgarian yogurt? It's got they've got like obviously cow milk, goat, sheep, and buffalo.
Bruv, when I went home, not last time, but like time before.
What's Slough?
There's Slough, big up SL2.
Yes.
It's mad. It's like Slough's one of the most multicultural places in the UK.
Slough.
Yeah, bare man from different places, like everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's sick. I do rate that, but like no one fucking cares about each other, like at all. But like I went to the supermarket, one of these like sort of like big bargain ones, innit? That look like basically like a warehouse and that sort of thing. Like it's sick. There's just bare shit there.
I know what you're talking
They
about.
were selling camel cheese, bro.
Camel cheese.
It's thing. I was like, what? That is so sick.
Did you buy some?
I wanted to, but like at the same time, I was like, I don't know. It's kind of
Camel
crazy.
cheese. That is jokes. Camel. Yeah, of course, camels produce milk, but I didn't even think about that. That's hilarious.
It's kind of mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you had camel milk before?
Nah.
Nah.
I've only gone as far as ridden a camel. That's about it.
You're not proper Egyptian, bro.
Nah. I'm not. You know what? I'm not a big fan of milk anyway. To be honest.
Yeah, you don't like raw milk. Do you have
Not
like
really.
oat milk and that?
Yeah. And the only really time I have it with my tea.
Yeah. Or your coffee?
Like, I don't eat cereal. That shit's dry, bro. Like,
Well, do you know what? Yeah, I just don't eat cereal because it's actually so bad for you.
Is it?
Well, it's just bare sugar, bro. Like,
I mean, apart from that side, obviously. Yeah. Do you have breakfast every day? This is one of my big questions, and people always like, why didn't you eat breakfast and stuff like that? When I wake up in the morning, I don't feel hungry.
That's fine. The whole thing about like breakfast, the most important meal is a myth. It's actually not true at all. Well, actually, it is true, yeah.
Fake news.
Well, no. It's not really, because if you think about breakfast, like if you split the word, it's break fast. So you're breaking your fast.
Yeah.
So like it's just the first meal of your day. It doesn't have to be in the morning, but
It
it's
could
just
be anything. No, that's what I'm saying. Isn't it? It could just be like a grape.
But the thing is, it can be steak, bro. Like, but the thing is, just I done intermittent fasting for a while, and every day I didn't eat until like 11:30, 12 for like a long time. And to be honest, I should probably get back into it because it made me feel really good.
I meant what was the next time slot?
Yeah, so like my thing was I ate between like 11:30 and like 6:30 basically every day, and then outside those hours like nothing, like only water and like like vitamins or whatever, but just nothing that has calories in it.
Do you feel better for doing that?
Yeah, I felt really good. It's just a nice little. Also puts you in a good rhythm as well. It's nice. But I've experimented a bit with dieting and stuff. Cause I've done keto for a bit as well. Do you remember that?
My mum's big on that.
Is it?
Yeah. My auntie and like, I don't know. I don't really get dieting in it. I've never really like. I've fasted before with my dad for like not the whole time, but just like was interested when I was a kid. What was it like? But man doesn't eat much anyway. Like,
Man, I don't eat much.
It's just like I probably like fast every day.
yeah, naturally.
I don't know. It's quite bad though. I need to be on top of it.
Yeah.
No, wake up. I don't really feel that hungry. I'm like, yeah, cool. Get ready. Go to the studio. Like work. And then all of a sudden, I'm Marvin, like so hungry. And then I end up like today. I saw my mate Josh. He like lives next to the studio. And I like sometimes I just go down and have a cigarette with him or whatever, and then like called him. I was like, "Bro, I'm bare hungry. Like, should we go to the cafe?" Just like, and then I end up going to a cafe and eating like a whole full English.
Full English, yeah.
Just, like,
full English, actually delicious though.
But that's all I've eaten today. Like so far, that's all I've eaten. Yeah,
we'll have dinner.
And I don't feel that'd be nice. But like, I don't feel hungry right now, sort of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'll probably eat something before I go to bed.
And then you can't. Bro, people work on different rhythms, isn't it? Do you have like a daily schedule, like, or some? Do you have like a must do's every day?
I'll tell you the one thing that I must do every day. Yeah, like it might sound dumb, but get up and have a shower. Like the first thing.
That's what you do.
Like, some people. I don't know how you do it yet. I don't know how you can start your day without washing your mouth in it, or like.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're disgusting or anything like that, but it's just like I don't know. I always feel like I need to feel right. Unless I'm hanging out my ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that don't count.
And,
If
I
you're
don't
after a
fucking
party,
care,
whatever.
bro.
Yeah.
Blazer suit straight away,
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just chilling all day. But even if I'm like recently, if I'm gonna stay at home and there's a few emails, whatever, like I just have to have a shower when I wake up, and like no matter what happens, I feel ready for the day, sort of thing. Like it's very psychological.
Do you ever have cold
thing,
showers? Or no?
Nah, man.
No.
My mate, housemate Ezra, was doing that for a while. It just sounds painful. You could just hit like in.
Could you hear him?
Yeah. No, well, not really, because he's like doing a whole Wim Hof thing, innit?
Oh yeah. Well, you can't like you hyperventilate anyway.
So and you could just hear him go. Just like, bruv, what you did just
Yeah. You're having a cold shower or orgasm. Like, which one is it? Like,
what is he doing? But then he'd do the whole breathing thing. Like,
yeah.
He's like, hold your breath for 5 seconds. And don't think about anything. It's mad. I get it, man. Meditation is important.
Yeah. Do you meditate?
I used to before.
Yeah.
But I feel like people just have their own process of doing it now. And I've got, like in my day-to-day, like my art or, or going to my studio, man, that's the most therapeutic thing I can do for myself, innit? But yeah, it's funny. Like I think about that idea about a lot of things like religion. It's something that can make you feel more comfortable with the world, isn't it? That process of like sitting down, breathing. Like, it's so simple, isn't it? Like
yeah. Just sitting down with your thoughts.
Yeah,
simple as
any space in which you're like have access to do that. Like religion's a big one as well. Go to church and make you think about stuff, reflect.
Yeah,
things like that.
Yeah, big time.
So it's whatever it is for you, isn't it?
Did you grow up religious?
Oh, so. For anyone that doesn't know, my mum's from Ireland in Cork, so like the freshest place in Ireland. It's mad. It's sick.
It's actually sick. Yeah, I've never been Ireland at all.
Really?
I'd love to.
Yeah. It's a nice place, man. It's proper local, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Everyone's like pretty jokes.
Yeah. Irish for jokes, man.
Make sure go to the south. I haven't been to Belfast or anywhere like near
just south
those ends, but just south in it, and it's beautiful, man. Like I think they filmed on the west coast of Ireland. They filmed some of like Hobbit, I think.
I'm just surprised.
Just there's some beautiful like scenery there in it, like natural. And yeah, my dad's from Egypt in Cairo, so my mum grew up as like Roman Catholic Irish, and my dad grew up as like Muslim in it.
That is what you got quite the combination.
Yeah, so I grew up in the middle of all that, and like I think even while I was going, because my mum put me into a Catholic school when I was younger, so like primary school was Catholic, but it wasn't like
proper.
Nah, there was no nuns or anything, or like it wasn't strict or anything like that. You know,
it was
a bit mad that everyone there was Catholic. Like that's kind of weird, but there were guys there were people from all sorts of culture that went to my school, so like that wasn't a shock or anything. Or like, I mean, like there were a lot of white people, and like I remember being young and saying to my mum like, I actually like want to be like, it just sounds mad, but like I didn't understand why I was brown or like why I was coloured. And I remember all the time my mum would just crease at me in it, and I rate her for doing that. Like, it is only your mum could crease you.
Yeah.
She was like, why do you want to be white? Literally, she's just like, you'll thank me when you're older, innit? Like, trust me.
Yeah.
I was but yeah, I remember they made me play Jesus in a nativity play. Which is kind of mad as well. I was like, yeah, come on.
Jesus, bro, I come from Egypt.
And I remember I got to kiss a girl that I really fancied.
Is it?
She was playing Mary, and I was like, oh my god, she's gonna kiss me. It's pretty joke.
What was that? How old were you?
Oh fuck,
like 6.
Nursery, you're like 4 years old. Yeah, at nursery you're around 4 or 5 years old, isn't it? So 5, like maybe like around 9, 8, 9.
Yeah,
I can't remember them times there. But so I grew up with both sort of like
both religions and
yeah. And I never really thought like after I came out of the school, I wasn't religious. I just whatever. And then I went to secondary school, and then I was really interested in science when I was at school. Like, I loved science, even though we used to fuck about bare like science, particularly because we hate our teachers. But like, when they actually said interesting shit, I was like on it, and like I liked reading about it when I was at home and stuff. I actually went and done biology at A level after, Like, I just
on.
rated it. It was cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I've always been into trying to like figure out the truth. Not the truth, especially, but like, I think I've always loved storytelling in it. And no matter what sort of subjects you can do that through, it's sick. Like, can communicate ideas through, like, saying something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and also like with science is the scientific process in it. It's just like trial and error. That's all it is. Like, and it's just quite good.
Yeah, exactly.
Philosophy for everything else. Yeah.
Everything. It's all full circle, man. It's like sort of thing.
I just love science. I'm not gonna lie. School. Did you enjoy school? Actually, did you enjoy like
school?
Yeah.
Secondary school
And A level and that both.
Yeah, man. I mean, like when I look back, I went to an all boys school in Maidenhead.
Same.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah. Come on. I went to all boys school, but there was when I was in year 10, there was year 7s, so they just made it.
Okay.
Yeah. So just about.
Yeah. I had a great time, and like I've always ended up in a position where like I'm the only person from my area that goes to school or whatever. Like I've always had to make new friends and stuff.
Right.
It's basically like in style. There was this one school that if you pass your A levels that everyone went to, St. Bernard's, which is obviously another Catholic one. I'm so happy I didn't go there. And there was this other one, what was it called? St. Joseph's, I think, which is like another sort of Christian, but that's where all your friends were going in it. If they didn't pass that, that's where they're all going. So I really wanted to go there, but
your mum was like, "Nah, mate, you're not going with them ones."
I remember being in the car when I got my results. I was bare upset. She just turned around and was like, "Yeah, you're going to a Desborough boys' school, innit?" I was like, nah, I was bawling out, man. I was so sad. So all my friends are going to St. Joseph, but big up you, like, because I'd much rather been in that school. Like, made some of the best friends I've had over there. And like, it's kind of jokes been at an all boys school, you know. Like,
it was
funny as fuck, man. And like, you do have a lot of fun there.
Bruv. Boys when they're that age do mad.
They do, but they all kind of take it on the chin at.
100%.
Just like we're in the same, like, bro. I remember at one point, Michael, he's like one of my close friends. When I go home, like, he threw a chair at me at one time because we were just pissing around, and like he got mad and like threw a chair. And then I remember being like a few days later, just coming up to him like, bro, I'm so sorry. Like, I shouldn't have been fucking around with you so much. And he's like, no, I'm sorry, I threw a chair at you, man. But it's just sick because like you learn to say like sorry to people.
No, it's important. It's important to have them like weird interactions as a kid and just like then having the chat about it, because that it's growing up. Yeah, you realize how bad adults are doing that. Like people like I'm not even talking about like our parents or anything like just like adults, like people 23 plus. You know what I mean? Where like you actually need to have difficult conversations, but people are actually so bad at it. And I think
a lot of people take it as confrontation, isn't it?
A lot of confrontation.
It's like, well, it's not about that, man.
Yeah. I mean, but it is difficult. Like I do find it difficult. I do find confrontation difficult personally, but it's inevitable.
Yeah.
I mean, like whether you like it or not, it's gonna have to happen at some point with someone. So
even like a conversation is like a confrontation. Isn't it?
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
It's funny. Like I read this, was reading this thing recently. Sometimes at your most vulnerable position is like when you can be like strongest, because it's that idea like you got nothing to lose in that sense. And like letting people like step into your vulnerability in a way. It's like letting them come into it and have a conversation with you. It's like really important. It's and I think like people get scared of that, or like someone's gonna say the wrong thing. Or, like it's like, bruv, like, and I think it all links into like cancel culture and stuff. Like, I don't think it's productive in that sense.
What, cancel culture in general?
Yeah, because. Like, obviously, if you say something mad in public, like, just don't do that. Do you know what I'm saying? And like the honest truth about stuff, like people say mad shit all the time, like all the time.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not saying like I'm in favor of that. You know, like when I go home, like Slough's a different place to here. Like, London,
people
like,
chat mad stuff.
Bro, people say mad shit, like.
Which
you would not say in the news or whatever. Like, it's just not good.
Yeah.
So people still think like in certain ways like that. So it's not about like, as I was saying before, it's not about just like fuck you, like get out of culture, like go away. We don't want to hear from you again, because they still exist. So like that's not getting rid of the problem. It's just getting rid of the people that are like
They're
still going to be the same people sort of thing. So it's about like helping them understand why they should be better or like should not say stuff at all. Like, do you know what I mean?
But also at the same time, it's just good to hear views. I like other views. You know what I mean? Like stuff that like on certain things that you think you're absolutely concrete about. Like this is what I believe. And sometimes someone else will say something and be like, like I don't like how that makes me feel. But like that doesn't mean that he's wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's a balance of where like sometimes if something doesn't make you feel good, doesn't automatically mean that it's not the truth or it's not closer to the truth. Yeah. So it's like I don't know. Yeah, I find it. There's a lot of. I mean, like you said, like going back to like when I go back to Bulgaria, oh my days, bro, the mad shit out here and out there. It's like, but the thing is, it's like it's not like the people are that different. They just like.
They're just people in it.
There's people in it. Literally, like they're just in their own bubble, living their own lives. They're in no way, shape, or different than any other person.
Exactly. Do you believe you are a product of your environment?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like half in it. You're a product of your environment, but you're also like I definitely think people are born with certain. Not necessarily capabilities, but like characteristics in it. Like it's just like how babies are different, you know. Like some are a bit more shy, some and then like throughout the whole animal kingdom, different dogs have different personalities and whatever. Yeah, definitely. I think we're born with certain things, but like a large part of it is just our experiences in life. Like I watched the end of this documentary that Ella was watching, and it was about I think it's called like. Medical mushrooms or something.
Right,
like it's on Netflix. It's like it's basically it's actually in the UK and
I heard about this. I said this to somebody the other day and they didn't believe me, but is the NHS using like mushrooms?
No, I think not yet, but they're
trialing it.
So they're trialing it. So that's what this documentary is about. It's about the trials. So they give it's basically about people with depression and then they give them like a magic mushroom dose, and then they sit with them in a room and like
it's not enough to send them tripping though, is it?
No. It is a lot. Like
really?
Yeah. They do big doses. Yeah, a lot.
Really?
Yeah, big doses. Yeah. It's not like.
So it's more of a therapy thing than like medical.
Well, I guess, but the thing is, it's like depression's really hard to treat in it. Depression's really hard to like. There's so many chemical imbalances and there's so many variables that go into what depression actually is, and sometimes it can be really unclear where depression comes from and whatever. And actually, like antidepressants are like terrible. They do not work. Like they can stop you, from doing bad stuff to yourself in the short term, and like because basically it just gets rid of your feelings.
You get separation from like your own.
Yeah. Like current antidepressants are not great. They definitely work to an extent, but it's like we need to do better on that sense. So they're trialing mushrooms, and actually in different countries they're trying a lot of. They actually in India and in America, I think they actually treat depression with ketamine now as well. Yeah. Seriously, it's like so like, but in smaller doses. Yeah. Like, but they
That's mad.
Yeah, so they
because like ketamine is made for fucking horses.
No, it's not. It's actually not. That's like the popular thing. It's like horse tranquilizer. It's not. Yeah. It's actually widely used in the medical sphere. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, I know it's mad because in England, when you think of ketamine, you think of people walking like zombies in parties. You know what I'm saying? I remember the first time I saw someone in a kethole. Yeah, I was in Bournemouth. It was like 3 a.m. Like some random house party, and I was in the garden, and I was just like chatting to someone. I can't remember, and there was this guy walking. Yeah. And I was like, bruv, this guy is not in our universe. Just like, so glazed and just in slow motion.
Yeah, it's pretty mad.
You're not. Yeah, but obviously that's not the point of.
Yeah.
So they have like nasal sprays and stuff like. Yes, bruv, it's mad. Mad. Could you imagine being a bike going?
Yeah, bro, like poppers or something.
Yeah, like poppers. But Yeah, so anyway, so they've done these like magic mushroom studies, and like it doesn't work all the time in it. It's just like, but there was a couple of really good cases where people just really completely like rearrange the way they think about the world and how they see things and how they comprehend like experiences. I'm not sure how we actually got into this thing, but like
trial and error. No.
Try and whatever in it, but anyway, it's just an interesting documentary. Like, it was,
You're watching the documentary, yeah.
And then, yeah, fascinating. Like the amount of like, I mean, it was also very sad. What I liked about it is that they didn't beat around the bush, and they didn't make it all glamorous. Because some people like didn't work at all.
Freak out.
No one freaked out, and there was no one freaked out because it was like a controlled environment.
Yeah.
There was like people there and whatever, and quite like vibey room. You know what I mean? So because they're in bed, innit? So they're in bed, and they have like a eye mask on, and they just trip. And they don't, it's not about like experiencing visuals from other places. It's about like going into your mind and just like sitting with your thoughts. I think that's what.
That's mad. Would you ever do DMT?
Yes, not right now though. I don't think for a few years. Yeah, I think maybe when I'm a bit older, I might try it.
Bit of a crazy drug, man.
Yeah. Have you? Or
No,
would you?
No. I mean, like, I don't know, because it's sort of like the feeling of dying, though, isn't it? Is that?
Not always. Apparently, it's quite hard to get to that point because I think that's like called like the breakthrough point where it's like that's when you have breakthroughs and stuff. But apparently, it's genuinely hard to ingest that much DMT because the smoke is really harsh.
Right.
So like. And also,
wait. So your body actually releases more DMT when you die compared to the amount you take. Like
wait. Sorry. Do you mean when you die you produce DMT?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant because there's a thing where it's called like ego death that happens when you have DMT sometimes.
Okay. What?
We believe you're dying.
Oh,
but
right.
like you believe you'll become completely dissociated with your body. I thought that's what you meant.
No.
Oh no, but yeah, you're right. Yeah. From what I know, yeah, when you die.
Well, no one would be able to tell you, right? But that kind of like makes me think, maybe I'll just wait.
I just wait until the time comes.
Yeah.
No, I think maybe I'd like to try it. Innit? I'll definitely try some sort of strong psychedelic at some point. But
drugs, man.
Like,
who is it? Dali said, "I don't do drugs. I am drugs."
I am drugs. Yeah,
I rate that way of thinking.
No, yeah, I do like it. I do think it's a bit all or nothing. I don't think it has to be that. I quite like grey areas. You know what I mean? I don't think. Apart from like laws of physics, I don't think there's much out there. There's like black or white, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even laws of physics, again, like fucking other universes and stuff. Who fucking knows? I'm not even gonna start chatting because who knows where we're gonna end up, mate? We'll be here for another like 6 hours. But yeah, man. I feel like we're not speaking too much about your art, like your own personal stuff.
Yeah, there's loads.
Do you find it difficult speaking about your own work?
No, not at all, man. Like, it's part of me, innit? And like,
it's an extension of you.
Every single day, I do. Yeah, every single day I'm doing something about it. Like, it's my life, innit? So, what do you want to know? Like, I don't know.
No, it's not. It's not even what I want to know. It's just like what. It's how what I find intriguing about you is just like you do it a lot, like a lot, and like you go into the studio and you'll be there for hours just working at shit. Yeah. Do you feel like you're quite? Do you feel like you're satisfied with your process, not progress, just like process how you do things? Does it give you a sense of enjoyment of life?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's like one of the main reasons I do it, isn't it?
Yeah,
like. Going back to what we were saying before about like sort of self-healing in a way or whatnot, you know, I am quite an emotional person, and that is a good way for me to get it all out, sort of thing. And like when I do end up in a certain situation or an emotional situation, I know how to deal with it because I guess my art and my process has helped me sort of, you know, like take a breather and like, all right, cool, you know. But yeah, like since I was little. It's funny when you think about it, like how you got into it or whatnot, like why you love art so much. But yeah, when I was younger, like I used to obsessively draw shit all the time.
Really?
Like my teachers would always like tell me off at school, like drawing while they're talking or whatever. Like, and then being at school, like, it was the first time we could do like art as a subject. Like, I still didn't know what the fuck it meant or like what to do.
You were just making stuff, and
they were
it
just
wasn't
like,
about art. It was just.
I remember like my first still life like drawing lessons. It's like my teacher putting these random objects on the table, and we all sat around in a circle. It's like, yeah, draw that. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, why? Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? And then you just like, oh, I could draw it like this or whatever. Like, I remember those things when I was younger, and like, I don't know why, thinking it's quite, again, like, it's quite an empowering thing to like, yeah, it's like take control of something in that way. But to sort of just see where things go. So it's that idea of like having control, but sort of like letting go of everything at the same time. I guess it's like, one thing I love, like, I remember when I went to New York in 2016 with uni.
Oh yeah.
It was sick because it was like
Bare cold, I heard.
Yeah, bare cold. But it was sick, man. It's cool, like very romantic time as well. Just like being in the city in winter, and like being with your mates, and like everyone's getting fucking lit every night. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a good time.
Yeah, uni trips are lit.
They were good. I'm very blessed to like have had those experiences in it, because they always stick with me. But yeah, I remember going, and like, I went when I was like 14, but it was more like a fucking holiday thing, in it. Like,
oh yeah.
Just went to see the lights, do all the like Ellis Island, all that shit. But yeah, this is the first time where I went to go and see art, and like go and see New York for what it is, and like, you know, what stuff have they got there that's for me, sort of thing. And yeah, going to MoMA for the first time and shit, man, was like fucking so emotional. It was mad. You know, like, started from the top, and the first show I remember was seeing like a retrospective from Picabia. He's like a huge sort of cubist painter in the same realm as like Picasso and people like that. But he's genuinely like one of the lesser sort of, like, he wasn't mainstream or like put in the limelight as much like that. But his ideas, I remember like knowing about his work from being younger and stuff, and then seeing it in real life was like, fuck. You know, that, again, like standing in front of one of his paintings and being like, how the fuck did you make this? Like, and his sort of like ideas around like mechanical reproduction and all these sort of weird diagrams that he makes of machines that don't actually work. So like, he'll draw like a very sort of,
oh, that's him.
They look very precise in it.
I know, like, what you're talking about. Just like random,
very abstract things. And I love those sort of ideas, and his sort of philosophy about, well, no, he didn't say this, whatever, but what I found in his work is the idea of like finding a composition within a void. Is like having nothing to start off with, but you have somehow, because your vision and the way you think have formed a path to like guide you through something. And I just thought that was fucking incredible. That was like the first show I saw, and then like you make your way down, and then like saw my first fucking Basquiat. Yeah, which I don't care if you whatever think I'm some sort of. Well, everyone knows about Basquiat, but bruv, they got.
Nice.
Like, yeah, for the first time to see like a real Basquiat, it was like,
because, you know, he's touched it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's physically
with like, you know. But besides that, it's just like, for me, one of the greatest sort of like thinkers, and in a way, it's like liberating what sort of modern art could be. You know, returning back to like childlike drawings and things like that, and just his story. Like, it's amazing. So like seeing sort of things like that really made me think like, oh shit, like this is actually possible, you know, to touch people like that in a certain way, or like to get people to think that in a certain way. Like, that's, I think, is the most beautiful thing about art and why I do it, is to help people think differently and like feel good about themselves and the world, and like how can they navigate through certain situations like that. So, but yeah, and then the last show I remember was like, by this point, we're all separated. Like, everyone's in different rooms and all sorts. Like, everyone's just delved into their own thing. And I got to the end, and it was, you know Nan Goldin, photographer. So Nan Goldin is like a huge, like female photographer. And she documented a lot of her life, and she was a victim of abuse from relationships and things. And a lot of them were like self-portraits, where she had literally like just been hit in the face or whatnot, and like, just straight on, like, look at what's happening. You know, not just to her, but a lot of women across the world, you know, abusive, like women's abuse and stuff is not. But yeah, like that was the last show I saw at the end of it, and I just bawled out in tears because it was just the Ballad of Sexual Tendencies. That was the exhibition.
Oh yeah.
And then it was like a one way in, one way out sort of thing. So like you go in and you see like they're almost like very painterly, like the colours in there are insane, and just the size of the frames and the prints are so beautiful. And there was like certain blues I remember just being like so like drawn into it. And then at the end it was like a slideshow of loads of images that was shot on their 35, and they had some music. It was kind of like an ending to a film. It was proper emotional.
Yeah.
It was good, man. And it was one of the first experiences I've had like emotionally being in an art space like that. And
do you think that struck a lot of like...
Yeah, of course. So that was when it like confirmed to me, innit? It was because that was around the time when I was going from second year to third year. And before that, like first year of uni, I didn't really know what art was or like where I was going to take it or what. Like I was just there to have fun and like take photos, basically. Most of the time I just skated and like with my boy Jack. Yeah, we just skated a lot, and we just like fucking around with photography, just like playing with, because they were getting us to get into the idea of appropriation and stuff like that, and just like have fun basically, and then just partying most of first year. And then second year was like, fuck, I got kind of like, I've got to do well at this sort of thing. You know, you start thinking like, cool, this is what I want to do. And I think there was this one unit called Contemporary Concepts in Photography, and that was like my kind of breakthrough moment when I realized like, oh my God, like photography can do so much, or like you can do so much with photography. I remember making these like SketchUp models, but they had like images on them, and it was like a photograph I'd taken in Berlin when we went to Berlin of Le Corbusier's building called Les Habitations, and he's got like exactly the same building in other countries. I can't remember where they are. There might be one in Paris.
The same building.
It's like the same building, but it's like this beautiful, like brutalist structure, like extremely sculptural. And again, like that was one of the first times I felt really engaged with something that was out there in the world beyond me. Because I could just come from Slough, like just, and then like I remember discovering what brutalism was and being like, what? Like, it's like I've been surrounded by it my whole life. Like there's a lot of brutalism in Slough and shit, and just like. Yeah, and then you slowly end up like sort of getting more into terms with why you're into certain things, and yeah, it was good. Like, you know, definitely that's the other thing about the real world that you can't get in the Matrix is like when you actually go to places and like traveling, like you actually go there to see something, like you go somewhere to go and see someone, and like it's so important. Because it's what happens on the way to there as well, like what you're thinking, and like when you're there, being in front of the thing itself, like there's no other distractions as well, you know, in the flesh, IRL.
Yeah,
That's what
IRL.
we can't let that disappear, man.
No, we can't. But I think, I don't know, in VR there's been a lot of because it's gonna keep getting better and better in it. So at some point, like obviously,
Yeah, but what do you mean better and better? Do you know when they say like TVs are getting better?
Nah, it's different. It's different, bruv.
Yeah, but it gets to a certain point, and that's what I'm saying. You realize it's not it. Like it just isn't it. Like,
it isn't. No, 100%. It's just like, I don't know how like when the first time they were like screened, they're like they screened this a video of like a film of like a train going in it. This is like back in the day, like when it was just like no one had seen any real moving images. People were like freaking out.
Yeah, it's like that with the Edward Muybridge thing.
Yeah,
the horse.
The horse, yeah. Like when it's got his all four legs off the floor type of thing. And people are like, nah, and they were like, oh. Yeah, definitely. But I think this is different though, because like the immersion of it is very different. Like being in VR is crazy, bro. Like because there's a couple games that I've played in it, and there's Half-Life and other one, but Half-Life in particular, it's one of the more impressive like visual experiences, and like it is crazy because like everything becomes because you're no longer just like scrolling the phone or just moving a keyboard. You're actually doing the actions. So for example, if I want to pull out a gun,
See, that's
I'm not pressing the button. I'm actually going into my pocket and I'm like doing that, and then I'm doing that.
Yeah, that's a bit mad.
And then the immersion of it is crazy. And what I mean is getting better and better is like visually it's gonna keep getting better, but because it doesn't look as good as real life, like nowhere near. But over time it will, and also you get haptics as well. Haptics are like
I heard about this, are crazy.
Like you can get whole vests. You can get.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's mad weird. It is 100%. Like, and you can get vests with like 100 different like vibration motors and
Vibrators.
100 vibrators
Connect to the internet.
No, but so like for example, if a bullet hits you, or for example, if someone touches you in VR chat, you feel it.
Bro, that's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
It's
bro.
too much, but it's it's coming though. It's coming. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
But also,
Just let a real person touch you, man.
Yeah, but some people can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Don't know how to move that way.
No, but like, but then it's a bad cycle, right? Because for example, like Japan, Japan is very technologically advanced.
Yeah, and then obviously I know that the relationship.
And well, it's not even a relationship thing is one thing. You know, they're like, I think one of the countries with like the lowest amount of like babies being born per capita. There's like, and also they have this, I forgot what there's a name for it, but there's a name for like a person who just does not leave their house, and there's tens of thousands of people documented in Japan that like haven't left the house in like 10 years.
Fuck off. Nah.
No, really? I'm not joking. Yeah, for real. Because they just order their food. They're like, obviously, obviously they'll leave their house for like a hospital and stuff, whatever, or like stuff that, but like, you know what I mean? 99% of the time is spent in their home. And it's really sad because quite often these people die. No one knows. Like, no one knows until like people like,
he's not online.
Check on him like 2 weeks
Jerry's
later.
Jerry's not online, man.
Yeah. Like, hey, like
we should call him, bro.
Yeah, where's Jerry? But it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's really sad. So I think there's going to have to be some. I don't know, man. It's very complicated. It's very complicated.
I think it's when, like, again, I think about humans as well, like getting in touch with your instincts and stuff. Have we got? How long is this thing record for?
No, it doesn't matter.
You don't
keep going. Yeah. I do need to piss at some point, but that's fine.
I went to cadets when I was little.
I remember. Yeah, shit.
And it might be a bit of a mad concept, like, yeah, the army is sort of like teaching kids to do like shoot guns and all this stuff, but it was like under a very controlled environment and like extremely safe. And I know like people might be like, oh, that's mad. Like
people are very anti-army, you know.
But the thing is, like, it's better to show people how to do things properly rather than like shy away from it or hide it, because then once they discover that thing, then they might make the wrong decision about, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things like that. So I remember being in cadets though and like going on like exercise trips for like 2 weeks at a time, like in the middle of Wales, like, no phone, nothing. Like you just have your teammates around you. You're all strapped up though, but it's like, it was bare fun. Just like learning how to do survival stuff and how to read a map. And like, I know how to read a map.
That's pretty impressive.
Like I could measure a route on a map and tell you the exact distance, and like however long that distance is as a crow flies, or like you compare all these different things. So like if you get lost somewhere, I know how to like find the bearing to get back. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit, like you just open Google Maps now, man.
No, yeah, it's
and like you just don't know how like things like time work, or like, do you know when you read a map, like the angle of your bearings change per year because of the Earth's like rotation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And angle. So like you have to compensate. So like I don't know how much it is now, but in certain years it's like more than others. But I remember like having to add like 3 degrees or like take away
because of like what year it is.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? That's
like, the position of like the sun and stuff like that. It's like it's pretty mad. It's so interesting.
But it's just
and, like first aid. I remember like I'm first aid qualified because I went to cadets. Like all that stuff was so much fun that I don't think I would have actually done like in the real world. or like I would have been smashing Xbox, bro. That's what I was doing if I was not in cadets. Like,
stuff like that is good, but it's like you said, the same thing. It's like sex education, you know. Like when you're a kid, you don't fuck all about sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't get any real sex education. So like sex experiences.
I had one sex education lesson at school, innit? And it was like, all boys got come on.
yeah. Just like people like,
and they put it on a fucking condom because like they put a condom on a fucking banana. For God's sake, like, come on, man. It's a joke. We're just fucking creasing up. It's
like, come on.
I remember there were guys at school filling condoms with lube and dashing them at people on the street and stuff. Just like,
but it's dumb. Like it's like because that's like it's not the least important thing in sex, yeah. But it's like, come on, bruv.
Yeah.
Like it's not the condom that's the problem, bruv. It's just I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tell me like what happens. Yeah. Sometimes sexual education.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's mad, bruv.
But you know, that's I think again, humans just need to get over themselves. Like, this is what I like to see.
Yeah, that's what I like to say. All right, here we go.
That's what I like to say, yeah. All them fuck it. Humans just need to get over themselves, man, and realise that you're not invincible.
In what sense? What do you mean?
Like humans think they're sort of bigger, better machines now. And like, again, all this like we're speaking bare about technology, like all this stuff is making literally people feel like they're more powerful and stuff. Like you could just search anything. Like, if you want to find something out, search that shit. Boom.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Okay, go on.
Like, it's quite a powerful thing to do, innit? But again, as I always say, is like, don't forget you are just human at the end of the day. Like, yeah, we do have great things about us and stuff, but like, we are just human at the end of the day, innit? And like, things like behaving with other people and things like that, like, you can't just say whatever the fuck you want to say to someone, innit? Like, you know, learning how to have a conversation with people and like inviting them into your world and accepting that. And yeah, man, that's it. Like, you know, just accepting the fact that we are just all human. We all live in the same world. Like, no one should be better than each other or whatever. Like, yeah, it's a bit mad. I don't understand how someone could get in a position of being like, you're worse than me, or like, do you know what I'm saying?
I also think
we come from the same place.
I think you're right. Yeah, but I think there's a lot. I don't know.
It's
like,
hard, it's
again,
a hard
because
one.
I'm quite optimistic person as well, so I don't know if I'm chatting shit, but I think there's actually a lot less people in the world that think like that than what we think there are.
Yeah, because I mean, again, it's all about like fending for yourself now and stuff. Like,
it is, but I don't think generally there's as much evil in the world as I don't like generalizing people, but as the average person thinks. I actually think there's a lot more good in the world, isn't it? Like, and
it's getting better. Don't get me wrong. Like,
yeah, it's
you know, especially with younger people coming through. There's definitely a lot more better young people than there was before. Like,
yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's necessarily about better or worse. It's just about like that's what. I'm quite like I don't know. I always like to go back to almost civilization and thinking of humans as an animal and just as a.
I tend to do that quite a lot. What would I do if I was just like?
Yeah, I'm just looking at humanity as like a single thing from a third perspective. And sometimes I look at like you said, like, you know, new generations coming up better. I don't necessarily think it's necessarily better, but I just think there's different requirements in society. You know what I mean? Like, over time, just priorities change and then ideas spread throughout societies and people take up those ideas, some bad, some good, but then you work around them and you just figure out what works, what doesn't. And sometimes there's really bad ideas, but sometimes there's really great ideas. But I guess
that's why they're going back to the thing of being like open and vulnerable is like allowing yourself to fuck up, and then having that space for someone else to come in and be like, no, like,
yeah.
That was what. Sorry, I was thinking about this earlier. I didn't really get onto it as much. It was about saying I don't know. And I remember reading about that, and it was, why do people say, for example, like something needs to happen, and then someone's turning around like, who knows how to do this? Like, it's like, I don't know, don't look at me sort of thing. Like, this thing I was reading was saying, you should accept the fact that people don't know, and like it's fine to say you don't know, but it's not in like, you should use that as like a defense thing. It should be like,
as an honest,
instead of this, it should be like opening doors.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, like help me,
Yeah,
sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
that's how people should read that sort of stuff.
Yeah, or just being honest about when you just don't know about something, and then
Innit?
because I think, I guess like like us humans, we're very social creatures. We split ourselves into tribes, in friendship groups, and in whatever groups in it, and quite often we take on the opinions of just our groups in it, and like whatever, even if I really like what you said earlier in the conversation when you said about like how important it is for people to think for themselves and not just have information given to them and then them just accepting it, because quite often,
Or like, oh, all those people think that, like,
all those people think that, so I must think that. But I think obviously it's not as conscious as that, because that all happens just like subconsciously, naturally. Just you take on information easier from people that you trust, but like sometimes I think like that trust is quite broken because we just trust people that we don't even know, online.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
exactly,
Like we're just trusting people that we think we relate to, but you don't know them.
That's why like, it's good to like look at people's ideas and stuff, and be like, oh, I wonder why they said that and stuff. That's why art's amazing, because like you don't, like the person's not there, but you're still working with their ideas and things that they have to say. But like, I don't know, some people, it's like when they say like, oh, I don't like this person, it's just like, have you met them? Like, it's kind of weird. You don't really fully understand someone until you've like met them.
There's a lot of hate, like people hate a lot on stuff where it's like,
well, they might have something to say about someone that they've never met.
Yeah. They're just seeing something online or like whatever's trending, and it's like, oh, that person's awful. But I guess that's the whole, cancel culture, like mob idea, where it's like, well, a lot of the mob, they don't know what they're mobbing about. You know what I mean?
Someone said, like,
said,
you should be angry because of this.
Because that, yeah. Like, for example, like...
Wait, what?
And like, we were having this thing the other day, where it's a bit of a hot topic right now, J.K. Rowling, like...
What happened? I don't. Oh, wait, did she say some mad shit?
This is the thing, yeah. So, like, J.K. Rowling, like, she... regardless of what she said, then like, there's just a weird, like... inherent hate towards her right now, and like I've asked people like why do you hate her? It's like, oh, because she said some mad shit. It's like, what did she say? Well, I don't know, innit? I've just heard she said some mad shit, and it's like
yeah, it's a bit mad, isn't it?
And it's like, the thing is, it's like, okay, like she like, we then looked into it, and some of the stuff she said, yes, somewhat problematic, definitely like cancel culture vibe, where things get said and blown out of proportion in some sense, and there's just not enough honesty about it, innit? Because it's all about headlines, and it's like the one thing she said from like a whole conversation, and it's just like gets focused on like there's not enough context about things, and then people just take on ideas that like, regardless if something that you believe is wrong or right, you should know why you believe that thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like,
well, that's why I say you really believe in something. That's another thing about this world, isn't it? Like now, this world, people, they say they believe in stuff, but that like, it's
just about saying I don't know, innit?
Yeah.
It's almost it's scary to say I don't know, because people, I think we have this idea now in our society that we must have an opinion. We must have an opinion on whatever.
What side are you on?
Oh yeah. It makes me feel like back in Bulgaria, back in Bulgaria when I was a kid. Like in my city that I grew up in, there's two football teams in it. It's mad, bruv. Like the rivalry.
Oh yeah, Bulgarian rivalry is a mad thing,
bruv. And the thing is, you go around and see, it's like, what team you support, bruv? Heck, leave me alone, bro. I don't support anyone. I actually don't.
What ends you from?
Yeah, like that's probably why I don't like football, because like it was so salty, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, what side are you on? I don't give a fuck, bro. It's football.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, I'm not gonna hate you because you like that other team.
Yeah.
I had 2 best mates in it. One of them, they each,
volleyball.
like they each supported. Yeah, I play volleyball. Bro. I don't even look. I'm just a volleyball player. Like, I had 2 mates and they were mates as well. And one supported one team, one the other, and it was, bro, it's hilarious. It's just so funny, bro. And the other, one of them got a tattoo of the team in it.
Yeah,
like,
that's a bit too far. I mean, like, no, I don't. Not getting a tattoo is a bit too far, but just like going to that extent, bro. I mean, like, I'm not actually a massive football fan. Like, I don't follow it. Like I used to when I was little and stuff, but like Josh, like my closest mate, is like he's an Arsenal fan.
Is it like my Adam down here? He's a Tottenham fan.
Is he?
Yeah. They hate each other.
Nah, but anyway, it's just like, but I like that like rivalry. It's kind of fun because it's just like banter. Like, come on,
if it's banter, it's good.
it's funny as fuck, man. I mean, I'd never see like Josh. He's like one of the politest people I've ever met. Yeah,
but when watching football,
like, but no, whenever he sees someone in the street wearing a Spurs top, the first time I ever heard him go like, "Ugh, that's disgusting."
Hey, I love it though. Like when it's there's a certain level of banter where it's good, and it can be a bit aggressive, but like it's not about
because that's the thing as well. If you're gonna give banter, you got to expect it.
Yeah, you got to expect it.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Would you support a football team?
Nah, not really. Like I get pressured in supporting Saints because I'm from Southampton. But
so I was like, who?
Saints? Who's that?
Saints.
Nah, I mean, I went to my first football game ever not too long ago before I had COVID. I went to see Tottenham play. Don't know, someone else in Tottenham won, and like the new stadium, bro. It was actually sick.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wait, where is that?
The new Tottenham. It was just built on the old like White Hart Lane.
Oh yeah. Sorry, because I remember driving past it a few times and being like, that looks different. Like.
Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, it's wham. It's so big and it's designed really well. I've never been to a football game before in it, so I have nothing to compare it to. But
yeah,
it was just an enjoyable experience. Like, I went
crazy,
and like it was so big, and the way that like it because there's so many people in it. But we went in very quick because there was so many different entrances. They really thought it out. It was great, and like I had great seats, and like it was football. Football is a different world, man. But.
Yeah, I went to my first Arsenal game. That's probably why I would say I'm an Arsenal fan now. It's because when I was living in Finsbury Park, managed to go to an Arsenal game. And big up Med, one of our mates, me and Josh's mates. He got us it was from work, like he got us tickets to sit in a box in it.
Yeah, in the box.
Yeah, just like someone in there pouring you beer whenever you want
it. That is lit. I love that.
And it's like, yeah, it was sick just seeing like people would shout at each other and like, who are ya? Who are ya? It's just like, it doesn't matter, innit? It's just a fucking game of football.
Yeah, football. Yeah, man.
I do want to get more into it because everyone, all of my mates talk about it.
There's a bit of a social pressure about it.
Yeah. When Jack and Josh are in the studio talking about we got you next week. I'm just sitting there like,
I kind of want to be a part of this too.
Yeah, guys, tell me what's going on.
Yeah. Like,
you just don't know. If you're not in it, you just don't get what's going on.
I only really know because my housemate Adam, and I do try and keep up a bit, but like,
do you watch the darts?
Nah.
Me and Axel watched it.
Did you?
The
final?
Yeah, it's actually sick.
Bro, I was looking at tickets, innit? I was going to go.
Yeah, because it's down the road.
Bro, do you know how funny it was? All of December, it was everyone here dressed like maniacs, bro. That's right, absolute lunatics. The thing is, if you didn't know what was going on, it was mad. Everyone's in crazy costumes. Like, there was a guy walking down the street just on his onesie, and he had a darts like helmet, and his face was like the bullseye.
That's so funny.
And there's people just like coming in, like looking at cricketers, like people coming like in Hawaiian shirts, or, like Ali G, bananas, like bare random people.
British costume,
but it's well expensive, bro. I looked at it.
Oh really?
Yeah, tickets were.
I mean, it looks like some
150 minimum, bro. Like 100. Like I did not see a ticket below £100
to get licked.
To get literally just go to a
bare
pub.
People in there as well. I don't think you can even see the dartboard, bro. It's just like
dart was not that big, bro. It's like that big. Can you imagine seeing something that big from like? Have you seen Ali Pali's big?
Yeah,
Ali Pali's actually big.
Back end of Ali Pali. 190. But the guy,
the presenter,
but like one of the dudes, they've got different people that do it in it, but like they're like artists in themselves, man. They're jokes. They all got their own little style. There's like one guy who's proper like 100. just like proper croaky shit.
Yeah,
like, bro,
yeah, croaky, yeah.
sick.
Yeah, man.
Like, getting people gassed up.
It looks fun. I mean, I wanted to go, but it's just like it's a lot of money, bruv.
Yeah.
And they sell out. They actually sell out as well. It must
Yeah,
be.
it's mad. I never knew that so many people were into.
Well, the thing is, I think it's so many people because they can fit a lot less than what they normally can because there's actually tables in it, tables and pints and stuff. Like,
Yeah, that's what. Do you know that scene in Harry Potter where they're all in Hogwarts? It's just
it's like that. It's like that.
that.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
Oh, jokes.
All right.
But yeah, man.
That's it, man. I think we're getting a bit off topic.
I know.
But it's calm. I think we had a good convo. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. As always, man.
Yeah.
As always.
Thank
There's always loads of shit to talk about.
I'm sure it's going to be. It's not the first time.
Yeah.
As in, not the. This is the first time, but it's not going to be the last. Come on this podcast.
Absolutely. No, thank you, bro.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Good to see you doing it.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that people, or like, seeing your friends just being like, oh, fuck it, I want to do this thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been wanting to do it for a long time, innit? I actually one last thing I want to ask you.
Well.
Yeah, come on, bruv.
G'd up.
Yeah,
I wish you could see the black magic.
The black magic just looking at us.
Sexy.
But one last thing I want to ask you about art is do you struggle with finishing paintings? As in, like, do you find yourself as a bit of a perfectionist, or are you someone that's happy to leave something at a stage and just like, right, that's done now?
Yeah. I feel like I'm over that point now of being like,
Too precious about it.
yeah, like when you think about life, like life is precious, but at the same time it isn't, and like there are so many things in which we are like so irrelevant and stuff like that, and like part of my process is accepting the failure of photography in it, and that's a big part of philosophy as well, is accepting failure and like how do we build upon those sort of experiences. So before I used to be like, oh, it's not right, like I don't like it, but it got to a point, like through those first collages I made, it got to a point where I was like, no, I'm happy with that image, like cool, like just leave it now. And I think what enables me to do that as well is like the process, like using Photoshop and stuff, is like you can just take shit away, man. Like it's like a painting, innit? Like you can like just add something to like just to turn a black canvas into a white canvas, or like any of these things. Like that's the beauty of what I like about digital art, is the like, yeah, it's like magic, bro. You just like take stuff away like whenever you want to add to it, and like it could be like start this thing off like last month, added something this month, and I'm working on other things, and then like 2 years I come back to the image and like I could just change something else.
I see.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a nice thing to be able to like go back through the things that you've made and realize why you made those decisions. Because like, yeah, there will still be like, obviously the scary part is when it's like printed and that's the final thing. You're like, but that's what's nice about it, is being like, cool, I'm happy with that now, and like leaving it be what it is. So, but yeah, it's a hard thing to get over. It's like the idea of thinking too much about something. Just let it free, man.
Let it go, man. Just let it be.
That's it. Let it be. So one thing my mom used to always sing to me when I was younger is every single night was Que Sera, Sera.
What's that?
You know that song?
Sing it.
Que Sera, Sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que Sera, Sera. So that's it, man. You never know what's coming.
Yeah, I like that. The future is not for us to see.
Yeah, my guy.
Again, one more time. Thank you very much.
Right, man. Thank you. Keep doing the great things you're doing.
I will try. All right.
Blessings.
Leaving the Matrix.
Yeah, let's get some